Remember how like when Scott Hall and this guy fucking showed up to WCW?
Yeah, that show was ridiculous.
Yeah, like it would have been like DX showing up on fucking Monday Night Nitro. You get what I'm saying? And they had Eric Bischoff in the documentary, and he was like a moment of silence, and he goes, "I fucking hated that night," because he's like, "I was shooting," and he's like, "If I would have known that they were out there, I would have told them to fucking let them in, because they would have broken all TV like ratings, and if anything, WWF would have helped WCW." But instead, like, security, arena security, doing what they're supposed to,
It's
they
the
close.
Dr. Doofy doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. Closing the gates and all that bullshit, blah blah, and all that shit was recorded and basically shown on Raw, because Raw taped back then,
Yes.
and then that shit basically boosted fucking their ratings
Oh
instead.
man.
But whatever. The reason I said I didn't like it is because you know how every documentary always kind of like behind the music is like, oh, you got the beginning, the highs, and then the fucking lows where everybody went on drugs and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the story of all DX, bro. It's just uh like I didn't know this. I didn't realize this. Maybe this is gonna be a shocker to you. But from the beginning of when DX was fucking created to the
Uh-huh.
very end, that shit only lasted 2 years.
DX.
Yeah. And
Damn.
I'm talking about like Shawn Michaels DX to the new DX that we know altogether was only 2 years.
I guess. Well, because they got back later, but yeah, I guess during that time, it
Yeah,
did feel
and
like an
and
eternity
um
for us, though.
and then what's it called on the documentary? They even mentioned it. They're like, "Yo, it's incredible how big they, the whole suck it and everything like that." And it was all a short span, but that shit felt like they were bigger than life.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, I don't know why they
So,
were so watered down, though.
huh?
Why were they so watered down? Like, why were they taken out?
Oh, so basically, it was Triple H
Uh,
wanted to break them up. So they were bigger than ever, and they were high, right? But the
yeah.
thing is, The Rock was getting his push towards Stone Cold,
Uh huh.
and basically like The Rock was starting to become a baby face, like just like Stone Cold, and Triple H was like, we can't have baby face versus baby face, and basically Triple H, like they were DX was
Oh,
so
I know where
big.
you're headed. Yeah, he wanted to be Ultimate Bad Guy.
Yeah, he not only that, but is that there was like a ceiling with DX that they were like he felt like he was closing out the shows, he was closing out pay-per-views and everything as DX, but
Yes.
as long as he was part of a group, he was never gonna get that singles push.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like he wanted to be with like the Undertaker, The Rock, and Stone Cold and everything like that.
Yes.
And he felt like that shit wasn't gonna happen as long as he was always like looked at like a part of a group. Because at that point, The Rock has already moved away from nation domination and the corporate and everything like that. And Triple H felt like he wasn't moving forward.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So he went to Vince and he was like, "Yo, we gotta break up DX," and that's when everything spiraled because DX did like nobody was happy about that. It was 100% his idea, and
Mm.
nobody in the group was cool with that because they all showed up in the documentary and what's called X Pac was like, it just didn't make sense to break up the group when we were set. He said they were making six figures, 6-figure checks quarterly off of merchandise alone.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like that's how big DX was. Like they were selling like if not more, as much as fuck together as a group,
Wow.
collectively, as much as Stone Cold at that
Wow.
point. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. What up, Junior?
They were just as big. So nobody in the group understood like why the fuck are you gonna cut something off on the top when we're
Yeah.
all making money and we're all living good, and the only person this is gonna benefit is one person.
You know who reacted like that?
Who?
Um, Completely off topic, but you saying that just took me back to that. Ricky Gervais was really mad at Steve Carell when he wanted to leave the office.
Oh,
And when he didn't
yeah,
resign because he said that they were all making a ton of money and they were peaking so hard and he wanted to dip right in the thick of it. And he felt like he just left everybody hanging.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
that's basically how everybody in the group felt
and they're
about
still
Triple H. Like,
friends till this day, which is pretty crazy to think.
yeah. So he they broke up the group,
Uh huh.
and basically like the X they tried putting X Pac with his own like faction called the X Factor.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
think
yeah, I
it was.
remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go nowhere. What's it called? Billy Gunn had I
Well,
mean
Billy
Road
Gunn
Dogg.
and Road Dogg were pretty solid, I would say. No?
They were pretty solid, but then after they tried to give him like little singles pushes, Road Dogg went nowhere,
Yeah.
and Billy Gunn had a short little like feud with The Rock that went really good, but after that he kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then what's it called? One time, what's it called? X Pac. So he was on sleeping pills or some bullshit like that,
Uh huh.
and he was driving, and then they like he got basically got arrested for like DUI and all that fucking bullshit.
Uh huh.
And then Vince McMahon told him basically like the Jeff Hardy story.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was basically Vince McMahon said, "Oh, either go to rehab or you quit." And then X Pac felt offended because he's like, "Yo, like I didn't. It was sleeping pills, and I've passed every drug test they've get because they were giving him drug tests."
Yeah.
So he
But
said, I've passed every drug test. I'm not on drugs. Like fuck you. Like I'm not fucking going to no fucking rehab. So he quit.
yeah, I mean, and X Pac had a real bad rep for all that, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, can't blame
So
them.
whatever. So he was mad that they were forcing him to go to rehab, and when he hadn't failed any test or anything like that, so he just fucking left. And then Road Dogg and Billy Gunn both got released, and then they went on like a whole world tour of like to where every independent scene, and they were just bashing WWE on every promo, basically going like on a CM Punk tour.
Yeah. 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 Billy Gunn did that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they did it together. They got together, and then what's called they were in a group called something. I forgot what it was called, but the
Hmm.
initials of the group spelled like Vincent Kennedy and McMahon, VKM, some shit like that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And they were just bashing fucking WWE for years. And then for China, in China's case, for years everybody's always said it was Triple H and like Stephanie and blah blah whatever.
That
But
that took her
but
out.
not even Jerry, even not JR even confirmed it in the shit. And
Uh
then
huh.
even when she was alive,
Uh huh.
she even stated that when she left WWE it was mutual.
Yeah.
And JR shit confirms it too.
That
That
she didn't
so
want
the
to be there
problem,
anymore.
not that she didn't want to be there anymore, bro, is that unlike X Pac, Billy Gunn and fucking Road Dogg,
Uh huh.
when DX disbanded, China became bigger than life.
Hmm.
Like she was the biggest. Like everybody talks about Trish and Lita, but dog, she was at that point she was the highest selling Playboy, whatever fucking like of all time like issue.
That's crazy.
So she was doing Playboy, she was doing TV shows.
Yeah, she was
Um,
massive. She was massive, bro. Which
Dude, she was on all the magazines, and then on top of that, like she had heat. Like one of the best storylines that people loved was her when Eddie Guerrero was obsessed with her and shit.
yeah, yeah, I remember all that. I remember all that for sure.
Yeah, so bro, so she was main event material because everybody loved her with Eddie
She was
Guerrero.
in the Royal
She,
Rumble. She
she
had
was in the
one
Royal Rumble.
Intercontinental
She got the
Championship.
Intercontinental. So she was main event status,
Yeah.
and she felt Jr. Well, this is what Jr. said in the documentary, saying that like what she felt that she should have been getting the same pay as like the top guys start like Stone Cold and The Rock. Like she wanted that type of like payment
Yeah,
because there was
compensation.
no because there was no bigger.
Yo, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. My bad. It's because I put Junior in here. Uh huh.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
no.
so she wanted Stone Cold type of pay, bro.
What up, Sammy?
Uh, what happened?
No, no, no. Because I'm streaming. I started streaming while you were talking because you were getting
Oh,
into a
yeah.
good story. So I
So
just.
she wanted that type of pay, and JR was like, because I think at that point JR was actually in charge of all that shit. like negotiations and shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he was.
And
He
he said
was.
he actually he tried his best, but like there was no negotiation. Like what she was like, basically she gave them an ultimatum. It wasn't like this is what I kind of want. It was
Yeah.
basically like I want this exact number.
Yeah, no, it was non-negotiable, and at that time, women were looked at us in a certain way, and
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
there's no way
So
she was
at
gonna
that
get it.
point, she left on her own. And that's
Okay.
when she started doing like the reality TV show. Like she was big for a while after she left. She did that reality. What's the shit called? Not Big Brother.
What, like the alcohol one, the
No,
addiction
no,
one?
no. She like the VH one, the Surreal Life of whatever
Oh,
the
the
fuck.
celebrity one and shit, right?
Yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
did all of that shit, and she was really big for a while. And
Hmm.
then once that fucking sex tape came out, and then everything spiraled and shit.
Yeah, yeah. And she
But
couldn't use her. I know for a fact that she couldn't use her. She couldn't use her name in other places. WWE didn't allow her to. They owned the rights
yeah,
to the name, so they kind of
yeah,
bulldozed her with that.
but JR basically said like she just kind of like left on her own because WWE couldn't, they didn't want to match
Yeah,
whatever
they
the fuck,
they didn't
like
want
she just
to
thought she was too
compensate her.
big for
Yeah,
whatever the fuck. And then Billy Gunn and Road Dogg had to beg for their fucking jobs back to come back.
which has
And then
happened
Vince
again now.
basically, yeah, and then Vince told Triple H like like, oh, Road Dogg's a drug addict. If anything happens, it's on you. And he
Oh
was able to
man.
get he ended up getting Road Dogg back, and uh he was in charge of like talent and a whole bunch of other bullshit. Like he got him a job.
Yeah,
So that's why Road Dogg and documentaries, like, even though I'm not with the company now, I would never talk bad about them again because I worked for them for years when they didn't have to bring me back.
that's funny, bro. And they just brought
Okay.
him back today.
So
They let
yeah,
go.
dog. So
They let go of
no,
Jeff
because it was
Jarrett.
funny. Because what you hear in the documentary, dog, is like they're all salty. Like at that time, they were all salty towards Triple H, bro.
Nah, but
Basically, like
he's made up for it.
the minute he decided to break them up, dog, their lives spiraled. Like
Yeah.
we were so focused on China, dog, that we didn't realize that all of them went down like dark
No,
fucking
no,
fast, bro.
no. They did. They did. X-Pac, bro. That's why I was telling you about that addiction show, because when China kind of spiraled as well, she went into the stuff with X-Pac, and they did that
Yeah,
celebrity addiction
but
show.
but what I didn't know too is that Road Dogg was just as bad, but we didn't hear about Road Dogg. But
No,
Road
we
Dogg
didn't hear
was
about him.
just as bad.
Yeah, no, we definitely didn't hear about him.
Like they all spiraled. I kind of felt bad because the way her fucking story went, we were like, oh, Triple H fucked up, and Triple H and Stephanie and shit.
Well,
But
because the reason why I said that, and hold on,
the entire group went down.
yeah,
They just
they
went
all
fucking crazy.
collapsed. But I just feel like Triple H. There's rumors that he cheated with Steph, and there's rumors that he like physically abused her, like that they had a physical abusive relationship. So that's the only thing I was talking about. Besides the fact that probably Vince chose Triple H over her, but now that we know that it was more about a compensation thing, it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, and it doesn't make Triple H look as bad as we once looked at him as for that in particular. But there is rumors,
Yeah,
if you look deep enough, that he hit her though.
yeah.
She was scared of
In the
him.
documentary, it was like they all held grudges about him, bro. Like because none of them understood like why when you're on the top, you
Yeah,
didn't
why
do
would you
this,
want to do that? Of
and the
course.
minute he broke them up, bro, their careers just went gone.
Oh
So
no,
it's
no.
like they held that like grudge like towards them and shit
I'm
like
sure
that.
for a while. For a
But
while.
the minute Triple H was empowered to try to bring them back, as creative or like backstage and shit like
Yeah,
that,
he did.
he did it, and they were all super grateful.
So I'll tell
And
you
because especially Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, they said like Triple H didn't have to do that because
at
like
all.
he's like, bro, they spent years back like throwing him under the bus, like in interviews and in everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And Triple H never responded to anything.
I saw a recent interview with Billy Gunn within the last couple months. Not even like, I'm not even talking about a year ago. I'm talking about like fairly recently. And he was talking about that even though he's in AEW and stuff like that, that he's learned from his previous mistakes. And he talked about what you mentioned about him going on tour talking shit. He said that was probably the dumbest thing that he could have ever done, but that he just felt, how he felt at that point in time. and that he would never do that again and stuff. That he understands that they didn't value
They went
him
on
or
a
whatever.
world
And
tour, bro.
yeah.
On a world tour.
Hold on, let me say what's up to some
And
people here in the chat. Hold on before we get into the next part. What's up, Abraham? Abraham, I see everybody's comments, guys. I'm just trying to we're trying to create the playing field here. We're starting off the show talking about the A&E documentaries that Brian saw, the DX one and the Kurt Angle one, which we're gonna talk about those, and then we're gonna get into Monday Night Raw, which I have my nephew Junior here as well. Let me see if he rejoined. Junior, are you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. So we got Junior here. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw shortly. I know everyone's excited about Johnny Gargano. We are going to get into some gameplay in a little bit as well. You know, we're just kicking things off with some storytelling and some behind-the-scenes stuff that we've been seeing online and in the documentary and stuff. If you guys want to add stuff to the conversation, feel free to add. But I see you, Ronald. I see you, Isaiah, Byron, Jason. Who else is here? Gabe, Straight Edge, Werner. We got KQ as well, Sammy, Byron. Byron is mad because he says I'm not paying attention to him. We got Chris as well. What's up, guys? Hope you guys have had a great week. I know I haven't streamed for a couple days. I missed y'all. But yeah, we're kicking things off podcast style here. So what were you going to say, Brian?
oh, nothing that through all that bashing in the world tour or whatever, Triple H
Uh-huh.
just never responded or said anything back bad to them.
Mm-hmm.
And after all of them talking shit, he ended up bringing them back for like jobs and shit. So, but they held grudges against them the entire time, you know.
I think at the end of the day, bro, it comes down to this. Triple H, and you know that I saw the interview with Goldberg and Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho said a lot of people have always bashed Hulk Hogan and given him a bad rep for not wanting to put people over or not wanting to do certain things. But Chris Jericho and Goldberg actually stood up for Hogan and said the problem that the reason why, and I'm paraphrasing here in a way, but he was basically saying that he didn't have an issue with Hogan because he knew that the stuff that Hogan did or didn't do was all strictly business decisions, which in this case, obviously what Triple H did for DX was a business decision for his brand and himself personally.
Yeah.
And that's why I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense about Triple H not going out and talking shit, because he understood the reason why he did it. And he didn't feel like he needed to publicly bash these guys because these were his brothers. So, you know, and a lot of these guys were still best friends with Kevin Nash and at least X-Pac was, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. So that's the real clique. The real clique is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, X-Pac, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. What up, Jake? So I think that ultimately comes down to that. And it, when everybody talks about how, because we love Triple H, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's in here watching right now. Brian and I are big Triple H fans. We consider him probably the greatest villain of all time.
I consider him my Ric Flair.
Yeah, he's my Ric Flair as well. I mean, I think he's arguably, like I said, the best villain of all time. And a lot of people are like, oh, he should have put RVD over. He should have put this person over. He should have put that guy over. But if you look at what he did for Randy, what he did for Batista, and the list goes on and on. I'm just naming the obvious ones because of evolution. Triple H has, you know, what he said with Stephanie McMahon, oh, you know, we're trying to do what's best for business. I do believe that that's what they're always trying to do. And he has learned, because Shawn Michaels said it best in an interview within the last month or so. I saw a clip of an interview he did, and he said, I regret some of the egotistical moves I did, but at the end of the day, if I wouldn't have done those things, you would have probably gotten the HBK you got to see. And that goes for many, many wrestlers and personas that we now look back at and get to appreciate, because when they're in the thick of it and they're going through their run, yes, these people have a huge fandom, but they also have a lot of haters. And Brian and I have been talking a lot about Roman Reigns lately and how people are not appreciating the presence that Roman Reigns has had on the product. And when you got guys in AEW, New Japan, TNA, Ring of Honor, GCW, and just in the wrestling world in general, when you got guys all around the world praising Roman Reigns' work, not just fanboying, but praising what he's done for the business, you realize that he's getting the respect from his peers and people he doesn't even know. And that is really special, bro, because that doesn't happen often. And I'm using this to piggyback into our next topic, which is the Kurt Angle documentary. Because Kurt Angle is
That's what
an
I really wanted to tell you.
exactly. Kurt Angle is a person that Brian and I praise endlessly. Number 3 on my all-time list. Absolutely love Kurt Angle. Always talk about Kurt Angle, and I feel like he doesn't get the same treatment that the guys like Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, those guys are always talked about way before you mention the name Kurt Angle, and in some cases rightfully so. But Kurt Angle is a special talent, and Brian is gonna kick things off now with what he saw in the documentary. So go ahead, Brian.
Uh, Before I even get into any of that shit, bro, like I want to tell you, like, so we got back into like wrestling probably like what, like 3-4 years ago and shit. But like
Well,
in that time of
I,
like the hiatus, right?
no, you
Before
got
we were
back
like,
into wrestling at that time. I got back into wrestling like, oh wait,
yeah, or well, before was that hiatus, right? Where
yes,
well, remember when I was like super into like all I watched was like UFC and shit.
yes, I
Me
remember.
being
Yes, real shit.
so like I'd watch like these fight nights and I'd watch like the documentaries that they had like on UFC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And UFC's full of like like Ronda Rousey's an Olympian, Daniel Cormier's an Olympian,
Loaded.
like loaded, right? What's it
Yes.
called? So you get like real insight what it is to be like an Olympian. So you have like your Usain Bolt, your Michael Phelps, and everything.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman used to work. They have I forgot where it's at, but it's like a Hall of Fame.
Uh-huh.
But where the Olympics, like there's like a center where they all train here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
for like a museum type shit. And Kamaru Usman used to be one of like the tour guides there. He used to work there.
Okay.
And then not only him, but multiple athletes,
Mm-hmm.
like even like NBA, I think LeBron James said, like there's like a little documentary shit that plays, like you know those little montages that play before you go into the museum and shit.
Yeah, yeah, little like a little hype reel.
Yeah, like a little hype reel that shows you the historic history of the Olympics and all that. And all of the athletes have always said, I've never been more inspired like to work harder in my life
Uh-huh.
than seeing that. Like that's the ultimate motivator, that highlight reel. And look, this I'm trying to tell you my thinking going into this documentary.
Okay.
So years ago, I knew, bro, like there's no athlete like more. There's no athlete like an Olympian. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. They're a
They
special
did a,
breed for sure.
they did a study, I think, in 1945 or some shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
I think, and they asked them. It was about steroids when they were like when USADA came in and they were talking about steroids and shit like that.
Okay.
And they interviewed a whole bunch of athletes, and
Mm-hmm.
they said they basically went to the athletes. I'm paraphrasing,
Oh,
like, yo, if you were allowed to take steroids
would you?
for the Olympics, right?
Uh-huh.
But the catch is that it took 15 to 20 years away from your life.
Uh-huh.
Would you still do it? Rodney, a crazy 72 or something like that percent of Olympians
Uh-huh.
said they would do that shit. So just so you understand what type of mentality of winning.
Yeah, these people
That
are
is
the most competitive people in the world, and they train for
the
years for
most
one event.
for one event. That means if you don't win gold that year, you wait another 4 years for that chance.
Epic fail.
And a lot of these people, like you see, these girls are been training since like 3 years old. The little gymnastic
Oh yeah, those people are
team,
insane. Just
and
even
their
jumping into
parents
the pool.
are traveling hundreds of miles every year and all that shit. Like there's no mind state. There's no mind state like Olympian mind state. Like when I like you can take LeBron James, Kobe, and Jordan type of mind state. It doesn't equivalent to what a fucking Olympian goes through because they're
Of
training
course.
since 6, 7 years old for 2 tries. At most, you probably get 2, 3 tries at that shit.
Yeah, at best, and that's if you're that good.
Yeah, that good, right? So then you take Ronda Rousey,
Uh-huh.
who's a pioneer and arguably one of the greatest women fighters of all time, right?
100%.
And she didn't get gold at Olympians. She got bronze. She came
Bronze.
in third.
Yeah.
You get Daniel Cormier, who's arguably one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He not won the light heavyweight, but he won the heavyweight belt.
One of the
2
greatest
belts.
champions ever.
Only other man that can do that was Randy Couture.
Yeah, super decorated monster.
He didn't win at the fucking Olympics. You got Ben Askren, who's one of the most decorated college wrestlers of all time. He has from NCAA, whatever. He didn't even make the Olympic team. Right?
100%.
So all this shit goes into my head thinking, going into the documentary, we're gonna look at the life of a professional wrestler, Kurt Angle, who won gold, bro. Won everything. He won it all.
A beast.
He won
with a broken freaking neck.
With a broken neck in '96. So going to that documentary and already knowing what these Olympians go to, I wanted to see like
the response.
Does it match like in my head of what he is? Because I don't know much about him.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about Kurt Angle, but I know what it takes. Well, not know what it takes, but you know.
No, I get what you mean.
Like I know what a fucking Olympian. That's like the ultimate fucking athlete, and then they're not right in the head. They're not normal human beings.
No, they're machines, bro. Competitive,
so competitive level.
Just super competitive machines.
That documentary matches everything I thought. Dog, there's no doubt in my head, bro, that Kurt Angle would have been one of the fucking greatest fucking UFC fighters of all time.
Just timing.
Of all time, bro. Of all time. That documentary starts off with first of all, it's just in the blood, bro. Because he has like 4 or 5 brothers.
Uh-huh.
And the documentary, they have childhood friends basically saying like they were just the toughest kids on the block. They fought everybody.
Damn, that's like Brock Lesnar. That's like Brock Lesnar.
From baseball to football to everything, like the Angle Boys. That's what they used to call them. They did everything, like his big brothers and shit like that.
Well, hold on. Don't spoil a whole lot. You could talk about it. I don't want you to hold back, but I don't want you to spoil it all because I'm 100% going to watch it. This is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, all right, so I won't tell you the big things.
All right.
But he had one of these games. He had one of the most perfect fucking high school games with the recruiters when he was playing football. It was something like 14 sacks and like 6 touchdowns or whatever. Like to this day, it was just like basically he's one of those guys that whatever sport he did,
he excelled in.
He excelled in. Yeah. He excelled in 100,000%.
Yeah.
He didn't start wrestling until probably like his last 2 years of high school, and he was the best. He was the best in the country.
Kurt Angle.
He was the best in the country, and then he went to I forgot what college he went to, but wrestling was always like a second thought in his head because he was just so good at football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he went to this training camp because Olympians, you know who they train with while they're training for the Olympics. They train for like they train at like the top colleges of the country to get them ready for the Olympics.
Yeah, for the warm-ups.
Kurt Angle was there. He was on the wrestling team and he was on a whole bunch of other teams. And he was wrestling this guy I forgot, but he was like the number one wrestler in the world or some shit. Like, you know how they do rankings of like going into the Olympics and shit? And Kurt Angle was whooping his ass like effortlessly at 19 years old, bro.
Just dismantling him. Like these like full grown Olympians. And Kurt Angle was killing them. And that's when it got into his head like, I could do this.
I'm really good. Yeah, he said I'm really good. Like he even said in the documentary, he's like, not even that he can do this, because he knew, bro. He's just confident. He's 100% confident, dog.
That's
like he's
funny.
He's not like us. He's the ultimate athlete. Because through the whole documentary, it was never like trial and error for him or a confidence issue. This dude went through his entire life knowing that he was just fucking good at everything. So when he was whooping these guys, he was like, "Yeah, I'm really good. I could do this shit." So then he started focusing. He started focusing on wrestling.
Yeah, amateur wrestling, real wrestling.
Yeah, amateur wrestling. And then remember that movie that I told you about, Foxcatcher?
Yeah, I have that movie. Yeah, I know
He
what
was
you're talking.
part of that team.
Oh wow.
So what Foxcatcher is about, it was this guy, I forgot his name, David
The coach.
Schultz or some shit.
The coach, right?
I don't know. There was this wrestler that won the Olympics in '84, right? I think his name is David Schultz or whatever. He's super famous, and his brother's super famous because it was two brothers, and one of the brothers went to the UFC actually, like the beginnings of like the UFC, and his brother was actually really good,
Okay.
but he kind of like fell off and like fought for pride and shit like that. But really, the main guy that won the Olympics in '84, the older brother.
Yeah.
So he was too old for the Olympics already. But there was this. I'm not gonna tell you what the movie's about. I don't know if you're gonna watch it.
Yeah, I do want to watch it one day. I just haven't gotten to it, honestly. I forget about it, but yeah, I do want to watch it.
So, well, basically, the guy he's a big fan of wrestling, but he's trying to get it mainstream. Like he want amateur wrestling to be like basketball and football, where people watched it, and it became like really big.
Yeah, like a real combat sport.
Yeah, there's no money in wrestling.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of money. So what he did is that he offered the chance. He flew all the best wrestlers of the entire country, and he offered them a place to stay on his compound, and he paid them like a salary, and all they have to do is train.
So he was trying to create like the ultimate super squad for wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that dude was the head of the team, and Kurt Angle was actually flown out to be part of that team, and that was basically his job. His only job was to train, and he got paid for it. And he said he got there, he didn't know if he was gonna do it, but then he fought against that guy David Schultz, and he's like, Kurt Angle was like, bro, I had like a good 30, 40 pounds on him, and he's like, I've never been manhandled like that in my entire life. Like that dude destroyed him with straight technique, and Kurt Angle's like, I need this, like this is where I need to be.
I need this weapon.
Yeah, I need this. So like he stayed at the camp with part of the team, and in the documentary they show like notes of his training schedule. And we're talking about like 10 miles. He trained 3 times a day. He started off with 10 miles with his brother on his back.
Oh shit.
Uphill runs, all that shit. And Kurt Angle's like, I train like that every day for the next 2 years.
Holy snap.
Of his life. And his mom was like, there was never a time you didn't see him in sweats or anything like that, because all he did was fucking train.
So he made his body like a wrestling machine.
Yeah. And his brother said at that point in time when he was training for the Olympics, he was the most, well-conditioned athlete in the world. He said there's no doubt in his mind that the most conditioned athlete in the world. And they had to stop him. They had to stop him from overtraining. They had to save him from himself. And then he became like a brother and all that shit. And I don't know if you're familiar with Foxcatcher at all, of like what happens at the end.
No, I don't know at all.
I mean, I don't know whatever is a spoiler, but I won't tell it to you so you can know. But that's what everybody goes into the movie already knowing it. That's why it's famous.
Oh, okay. And this is all before he even had any idea about what WWE was or what?
Oh, he never watched it. Never watched wrestling.
So he wasn't even a fan.
Wasn't even a fan because the thing is, he always looked up to his brothers because his brothers were all natural athletes and shit.
Yeah.
And they hated pro wrestling. Like they said that shit's bullshit. Like it's like whatever, it's fake.
Yeah, the machismo shit.
And he held them like to such a high regard that he didn't question it, and he never watched it again.
Wow.
Like his brothers, he was like, oh, they say that shit's crap. It's whatever.
He didn't even have any real knowledge about it.
No knowledge, and he didn't really respect it and shit. And then so he went into the Olympics. Oh no! So this was for the Olympic trials. He was going against the number 1 guy in the country for the Olympic trials, and that's where he broke his neck the first time.
Holy snap!
And then you watch the videos, they're showing the videos of him in the Olympic trials, though, and the guy was playing dirty, and he's snapping at his neck the entire time,
Oof.
trying to get him to hurt.
Do they show it
And
in the
then,
documentary?
yeah, they show all his matches in the bro. That's why when I'm watching the matches, and especially you now that you watch a lot of UFC fights,
Uh-huh.
when you watch that shit, you're gonna be like, this dude was fucking something. Angle is something else, bro.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
another thing that people don't know, bro, this dude was a heavyweight fucking Olympic wrestler. Kurt Angle's not a fucking heavyweight.
Wow.
Like like Kurt Angle's big, but he's not the size of Brock. Bro, Brock Lesnar's a heavyweight.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is a real heavyweight. Let's see how tall Kurt Angle is.
So just so you know, Kurt Angle is wrestling guys that size.
Yeah, he's 6 feet wrestling guys that are what, like 6'4", 6'3".
Yeah, and
More weight on him.
And he was murdering them, dude. He was
Too agile, huh?
them.
Too agile.
Yes, agile, technique, and everything. And then he beat this Iranian whatever for the gold, bro, by decision. Because they were going back and forth, and bro, it was such a close match. Nobody could score on nobody until like the last final seconds of the match. He got the takedown. Kurt Angle got the takedown on him. But the thing is, the guy's back wasn't on the ground, so it was kind of like Kurt Angle was like by his hips, holding his legs, but the guy was keeping like he was like sitting up. You know what I'm saying? So Kurt Angle was trying like to scoot forward to get his back to the mat, but the guy was stalling. And out of 3 judges, 1 judge scored it, and the other 2 judges didn't score it. So it was like a judge decision, and that's how he won his gold medal.
Wow.
So,
wow. What up, Tristan?
Oh, you can make a whole story about that shit, bro. He won that shit. WWE instantly
jumped on him.
Oh, they jumped on him so fast. Instant contract. He said they gave him an 8-year contract. Like even in today's money, he said that shit was good. Like it was a ridiculous like Vince McMahon threw the money at him.
He took the 8-year contract immediately?
No.
Oh.
It was like an 8-year contract, and it was like as a rookie too. They're giving him Stone Cold The Rock type money in '96 type shit, right? Because he already had that. He had that that swag of a badass already. Because at that point, it was the broken neck thing that he won the Olympics with a broken neck. So he had that like you know,
persona,
saying, that swagger.
Dude. Yeah.
Huh?
That persona, the personality.
Yeah, he had the persona of like this dude's a fucking badass and needs to be whatever. So WWE threw the money at him, and he basically went into that meeting in Connecticut with Vince McMahon, and he basically told him, you know, I'll sign that contract on one condition, and that's that I never lose. and then Vince McMahon laughed. He shook his hand, and he's like, "Thank you for coming today," and didn't call him back.
Wow.
So Kurt Angle in the documentary laughed, and he's like, he knew that I just didn't get it. I didn't understand what wrestling was.
That is hilarious.
Because in his head, he's like, yo, I'm a Olympic like gold, like
yeah, I'm not losing to no scrub.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, these dudes don't train like I do, and they're not at the level that I am, which he's right. Come on, this dude's a Superman.
Nah, bro, is uncomparable. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, so he was like, he just didn't understand what WWE really was. So he was like, yeah, Vince McMahon, he laughed, shook his hand, and he said, all right, so you know, thank you for coming. So, you know, while he's going around, he's doing seminars, and he's doing that for the past like year and a half. He's watching like Monday Night Raw. And he's watching it, and and he still doesn't kind of get it. But then he saw Stone Cold. He said Stone Cold is Stone Cold became his favorite. And he saw Stone Cold doing all this fucking shit with the beer truck.
No way.
And doing all this shit.
No way.
And then he saw him on TV shows and shit like that. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, dog, I'm training like a fucking dog, right? And it's like this dude, like, he's like, I can do. He's like, these dudes are getting paid like 4 times of what I'm getting fucking paid, and they're not half the athlete I am. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And he saw the charisma of Stone Cold and whatever, and then he said like he just got like a click in his head, like the star power, like this is like what people like are paying for, and he was like, you know, I can do this shit.
Oh man.
And then so like I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years later, he calls JR, and he says, hey, I want to know, is that offer still on the table?
I know they didn't give it to
And
him.
JR immediately goes, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's like, but I can get you a tryout.
That's when he had to
So he
fight
was
his
like,
way in.
yeah. So he went, he did the tryout,
That part I knew.
and then
That part I knew.
within 2 hours, he told his agent, like, dog, I'm not doing this. Like, this is, he said, this is stupid. It's self mutilation. It's like body mutilation. You're just allowing the guy to fucking hurt you. Yeah, he told his agent, like, basically, like, this shit. He's like, this shit hurts. Like, you're just like, he's like, I'm going against my natural instincts of letting somebody manipulate your body.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, it
He
was
still didn't
super
get it.
awkward. Yeah, he still didn't get it. He was super awkward, and he just didn't understand, like, what was the point of this? Like, he's like, I can't see myself getting hurt like this for no reason. And then his agent's like, bro, just do me a favor and just stick around to the end of the day. So Kurt, you know, being the competitor he is, he's like, fuck it, bro. He stayed to the end of the day, and he started catching everything within fucking 4 hours, bro. He just understood. Like the movement, like the fucking, the little, like the rope running, all the drills that they run.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, he was like, you know what, man? Like, I can do this. He stayed, and he beat out all the other like people in the tryouts to earn like your basic like rookie contract, like to train.
Oh
And
man.
then I think he got called up probably like a few months
Yeah, I heard that it was a couple months
early.
only. Yeah.
And then this is the funny part, dog. It's because he was such an outsider, dog, that he started cutting like these promos, you know, before he came on the TV, of basically like, oh, the WWE deserves a real Olympic champion. You know, the 3 eyes, integrity, and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on the first night he's about to come out, Vince is like, oh, you know, like, get ready, they're gonna fucking boo you. And then Vince, he was like, they're not gonna fucking boo me, because he's like, dog, like, you know, the whole Olympic, because bro, he went on an entire year world tour of going to like Good Morning America and everything, being treated like as an American hero.
Yeah.
So he was telling Vince like, this shit's not gonna work. I'm not gonna get booed. Like, I'm too.
He thought that he was
Like,
too loved and like people respected him too much.
yeah, exactly. Like, people respect me too much. Like he wasn't confident in the character at all. He's like, they're not whatever. He went out there, bro, and the crowd fucking booed his ass off the roof.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he was getting the mic, and he was like, "Oh, you don't boo a national hero, blah blah, whatever."
Yeah, he was an
And Vince
arrogant
said,
Olympic hero.
yeah, he came to the back, and he was like, "That shit was amazing." He said he's never felt a crowd like that ever in his life, and he just loved the electricity.
So that's it.
And then
That's
his very second show was in Pittsburgh, his second show ever. And then Triple H is like, they're gonna fucking boo you. And Kurt Angle's like, nah, like, you guys were right the first time, but there's no fucking way that my hometown
isn't it boo me?
is gonna fucking boo me.
Yeah.
Especially a fucking Olympic gold medalist. I went to school here. I've broken records here. I've done whatever. He goes out there, bro, and they fucking boo the fuck out of him.
Oh man, that
And
is
then
hilarious.
and then he came back, and Vince knew he had something in him, because he loved it. He loved the feeling.
Yeah, he was starting to get addicted to it, bro. Like drunk.
Yeah, he was getting like, it was like a shock factor for him, because he was still like an outsider. He was coming to the back, and he's like, dude, they're really fucking booing me.
Yeah, he didn't get the business yet, bro.
And they said, bro, like, they had The Rock. The Rock was in there. Triple H was in there. I think Stone Cold was in there. And then they all said the same thing. They're like, the best thing that we all loved about him is because,
Mhm.
like, you have these few people, like you have like The Rock and Stone Cold have this special relationship that they didn't have to do a lot to
Yeah.
work with each other. Like they were natural with each other.
Yeah.
Um, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, even when they didn't even like each other, they
Yeah, they
always
just
could
went
work.
well.
They knew how to work with each other and shit like that. And there's some people that are like it took time, but they worked with each other. The one thing that everybody said about Kurt Angle is that he just worked well with everybody. Like it was, they said it was the rarest thing you'll ever see in wrestling, but he had chemistry. He could work with everyone, even if it was for the first time.
That's amazing, bro.
Like it didn't matter if he was going out with The Rock for the first time, Triple H for the first time, or whatever.
I feel
Like,
like those matches were all amazing with those guys.
like he just, like he could work. He could work with anybody. Like this, that's why when you think about it, that's why John Cena debuted it. They made his debut to Kurt Angle. When Taz came from ECW, he made his debut to Kurt Angle. Like a lot of the people that they threw in for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
they threw in with Kurt because, like Vince, especially for a rookie, bro, it was crazy how much confidence Vince had. Like, remember, dude, he's an outsider, dude. So it's like how much of a big deal it is for you to have like somebody who doesn't know the business like that, and just expect them to be like Bret Hart level of like worker.
Yeah, nobody ever. Bret Hart was one of one. Nobody ever saw anything near Bret Hart level.
Like, yeah, so they said like he can just work with anybody, bro. So Vince just trusted him to go out there and just make any type of fucking match like work. And
That's
he
amazing.
fucking he sold, and he like, no, basically like he did his entire life with football and wrestling and everything. Pro
Mhm.
wrestling was no different. He picked that shit up in 3 months, and he just became a superstar. Like it was no fucking big deal. And the thing is, everybody around him was surprised. But even when you see Kurt Angle in the documentary,
Mhm.
he just kind of like shrugged his shoulder, like I just knew I was gonna be good.
Yeah, he was confident in himself, bro. That's something that oozed through
Dude,
the TV every week.
super confident, bro. And the thing is, near the end where he was talking about like, oh, I never thought that I would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame because I just feel like I didn't do enough in my career there. And then, before he left to like TNA,
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
and then he said he took a look back at like the 3, 4, or 5 years that he was there, and then he was like, you know what, I do deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He was like, I had fucking crazy fucking matches.
Yeah.
Like in the documentary, he was like, I had to go back and look, and I realized like I was fucking good. And he really was, bro.
So now we brought this up because we have a lot of young fans. So unless they watch the A&E documentary, all of this is like alien zone for them. He sounds like he's making up these stories. No, this is from A&E, bro. So now that you saw the documentary, now that you saw all the behind the scenes stuff, obviously I still have to watch everything and all that. But does that make you feel a little more confident in Gable Steveson, who's an Olympic gold medalist just like Kurt and is a college champion back to back?
Oh yeah, dude. It's like I said, like I know Olympian is, bro. Like they're just super athletes. Like
Well, but do you think that we can believe that this guy could be like the next Brock, the next Kurt? Is what I'm saying. Because there's a big.
if he has the charisma or the work ethic, like if he doesn't go in half-assed,
Supposedly he
you
has
know.
the work ethic. I saw an interview with Mr. Kennedy, who's been
Yeah, no, the
training him.
work ethic is the last thing to think about. But I'm talking about like buying into the wrestling culture
Yes, because that he has to do.
of like kayfabe and all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. Um. Okay, so Gable Steveson, do you think that maybe we get a Kurt Angle spot with Gable next week, or you think Kurt Angle's gonna come out with Alpha Academy? What do you think that WWE should do with Kurt Angle then after this hype from the documentary?
I don't know. They'll probably do like
Shaq
Alpha
Gable?
Academy and shit. Try to
Yeah.
attack him and shit, and Gable Steven comes out to help out or some crazy shit like that. But he was. Well, what I took from the fucking documentary was like, dog, just imagine if this dude would have been UFC.
Mhm.
Like
for sure
it would
champion.
have been over. In my opinion, because there's even stories, and they even admit to it, that he wrestled Brock Lesnar like in a real match, and he fucking beat him.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. We've talked about that a couple times.
Yeah, and that story, they've told that story a whole bunch of times. They were like, oh, listen, oh, I heard you said you can beat me, whatever, because Brock Lesnar said he's just too small. They went, they had a fucking catch wrestling match, and Kurt fucking beat him.
Okay.
And look how we're all on Brock Lesnar's dick about
Yeah.
the ultimate athlete, and he's the alpha male.
Yeah, like he's a
and all
beast.
that.
Beast.
And nobody treats Kurt Angle that way when it's like,
Okay. But I mean, look, people, because I don't want to say that we're the only Kurt Angle fans, because I know that there is people that love Kurt and they do enjoy. I don't think a lot of people see him like Rock and Stone Cold like we do and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna debate that because I'm not. That's not even an argument in my book. But kind of to now piggyback on this conversation to talk about someone that because I want to make it relatable for everybody in the chat as well. How would you see a guy like Bobby Lashley if he was younger and actually had a full training camp? Because everything Bobby Lashley has done in MMA has been without a real training camp. Do you think Bobby Lashley is at that level of these guys? Not Kurt Angle level, but like Brock Lesnar and these guys like that?
Where
would you put him? You think he's the weaker one out of all the ones we've mentioned?
Well, I don't see. Dude, he's super strong and he has the work ethic. Cause wasn't he? I don't know if he was a Marine or Army, but
yeah, he was in the Army.
Officer or yeah, sergeant or some shit like that.
Yeah, he was in the Army, 100%.
He has the work ethic and shit like that. So he has and his record alone proves that he can fucking do it.
Yeah, he could.
Well, to do it at the high level of like Brock and Kurt and shit like that,
like championship, all-star wrestling.
It's more than hard work. It's like you gotta like have that talent. I'm not saying, and he could have it. I'm just saying it's just we don't know.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about Bobby's background and shit.
Okay, would you say that he's better than Jack Swagger, aka Jake Hager from AEW?
I mean, I say he has better MMA career and fucking wrestling career.
And
but Jack Swagger's, you can't take it. I think Jack Swagger was like a former Division 1-2 wrestler.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was.
So it's like he's not a slouch.
Okay.
But if you want to go just for realistic, of like if you don't want to go by like what could have been, like Bobby Lashley doesn't have the record.
Okay. And what about Chad Gable, who actually qualified for the 2012 Olympics and was actually part of the team, even though he didn't win?
Not Chad. You talking about compared to Bobby Lashley?
No, at this point, I'm just talking about just amateur wrestling wise. Where would you put him into the category? Do you see him as like a little mini Kurt Angle, like a cheapy version of him?
Yeah, probably.
So I'm building up towards the conversation, MMA, obviously, because JJ keeps mentioning it. This is like the fourth time he mentions it, and I want to talk about it before we get into Monday Night Raw, which Monday Night Raw was obviously overhyped. Like I said, we got my nephew here. Brian's here. We're going to be talking about Johnny Gargano and all that stuff. But real quick, let's talk about that main event in the UFC. This past Saturday, Leon Edwards stunned the world. Down and out for the count. Had no chance to win that match. Was getting dominated. And if you guys know anything about the UFC or boxing in general, combat sports in general, you're one punch away, or in this case, one kick away from a victory. Isn't it Leon Edwards? What's his name? It's Leon Edwards, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Leon. This dude is saying he put Leon laugh out loud. Yeah, it's Leon Edwards. I just looked it up. I did say Leon Edwards. I don't know why you put laugh out loud. Whatever. He came out and he stunned the world in the final round, kicking Kamaru Usman, who we considered, one of the greatest champions in that division.
They consider him the greatest. I still say GSP. I don't know why people whatever, but
I think he got overhyped a little bit.
And on top of that, if he would have won that fight, he would have tied with Anderson Silva.
Yeah, which JJ just put it. So I always felt Kamaru was a little overhyped because what's his track record? I mean, Jorge Masvidal twice. And I don't even know who he beat before. Let me look it up. And I know there's not that many UFC fans here that watch WWE, so we won't talk about this too long. Let me just look up who this guy fought. Who he is the real deal, but he beat Rashid Abdullah, Steven Rodriguez. Who did he beat the belt from? Let me see.
Cool. Usman?
Yeah.
He beat it from Woodley.
Woodley. Okay, so that was all the way down here. Decision unanimous. Won the okay. So okay. I got it. So he beat Woodley. Decision. Before that, he had beat Rafael Dos Anjos. So that was a nice fight too. So he beat Rafael. He beat Tyrone Woodley. Then he beat Colby. He beat Jorge, Gilbert Burns, Jorge, Colby, and Leon. I don't feel like. I don't know. I just don't see. I mean, I like Jorge and all, and he's awesome, and I enjoy his fighting, but I don't see him as. You're not testing the best ever in that division with a Jorge Masvidal in my eyes. I don't know too much about Gilbert Burns. I think Colby is probably his biggest test, honestly. And Colby just kept marching forward at him, but Usman just had an answer for everything. And if we look at his history, like I said, I don't know if it's enough to call him the best in the world. Now, mind you, not that I wasn't a fan, but I wasn't into UFC when GSP was around and he was balling. So I don't know who the hell he beat. But do you know some of the people he beat?
Man. Yeah, Matt Hughes, UFC Hall of Famer.
Okay, I know Matt Hughes.
He was the first before Anderson Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hughes, I think.
Yeah, I know who Matt Hughes is. So he beat him, real credible.
He had like seven UFC back to back. Like he was a big deal. Matt Hughes is a big deal.
No, I know who Matt Hughes is. I know him. Yeah, they probably not. Yeah,
one of the greatest welterweights of all time.
100%.
So GSP won. So GSP beat him.
Okay.
He beat BJ Penn.
No, that's it. Yeah.
It's not the BJ Penn that we know, but the BJ Penn back, like the killer, like the.
Oh, the killer. Yeah. Okay, no. For sure. No, that's it.
So Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, who I'm trying to think. I know a few people, but I'm trying to think of who you would know. He beat Nick Diaz when Nick Diaz was Nick Diaz.
When he was a beast. All right, no, that's already 3 people. That's 3 more. That's 2 more people than Kamaru Usman, because Kamaru Usman, the only Matt Hughes level type of guy that has that type of ability is Colby, but even Colby is not even a Hall of Famer. So at that point, you got to just give it to GSP, if anything. I don't know. Nah, I don't feel like Kamaru did enough to be considered greatest ever or to be better than GSP. And this is me coming like from the most casual source in MMA, UFC, and just that sport in general. Michael Bisping, he beat Michael Bisping, who's another tough outing. I love Michael Bisping. I think he's awesome, but yeah, so GSP is definitely a better champion than Kamaru Usman. I don't think Kamaru Usman was really tested like GSP. And Kamaru Usman was blindsided. I think that if he was to fight Leon Edwards again, I think Kamaru Usman would definitely beat him, though. I don't think Leon Edwards is going to hold on to that title for too long. And then you got Conor McGregor thinking that he could go for the title. You got Jorge Masvidal, who's probably going to want to try to go for the title now that Leon Edwards has it.
Everybody, the minute he won, everybody's calling him out already.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
Nobody sees him as a champion.
Nah, nobody. Nobody respects him at all.
Everybody smells blood right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll circle back to that subject. I know everyone in here is going crazy for the Monday Night Raw conversation, and we're finally going to hit it up. We're finally going to talk about Monday Night Raw from August 22nd. Guys, I've seen you guys have been pretty active and enjoying the conversation we're having. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying it, but feel free to hit me up in the comment section. Hit me up with some of the details that you want to talk about for Monday Night Raw. Give us some topics to talk about Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about some of the things right now. I'm going to take advantage and bring in Junior into the conversation. Junior, you still here?
Yes, sir.
What's up, my boy? You falling asleep?
No, I'm here.
All right, I'm sorry, but we had to talk about some of our favorite wrestlers from back in the day, and I really wanted to hear what Brian said. All right, so guys, Junior, who, man, he's been watching me play WWE games and he's watched me watch wrestling forever since he was a little kid. He's been down here from New York, and we caught a live event together. We've been watching SmackDown and Raw when we have a chance. Tonight we watched it together, And Junior, I don't know. Speak for yourself. I don't want to speak for you. How did you enjoy tonight's show overall? The Canada sold out crowd was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like every fight was really good. Even the women's fights were really good. Like
Yeah,
I
which
really enjoyed all of them.
and sometimes the not to be I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're being sexist or you're being whatever, but we typically, I don't know, man, like even my wife, guys, I always use my wife and I shield myself with her because she agrees with us. The women's wrestling and in any company, not just WWE, in any company, we don't really care for it too much. But um how did you feel about, because they want to talk about it, so I'll just jump into this part before we talk about anything else. We'll start with Junior, Brian, and then I'll answer afterwards. Junior, how did you feel when we were looking at Johnny Gargano, who had been he was gone for 9 months. He had a child. There was rumors about him maybe going to AEW, and he ends up on Monday Night Raw under Triple H's creative controlled show. Johnny Wrestling is back. How did you feel? Because you said he was one of the guys that you enjoyed from WWE 2K and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I was in shock. So, like it was really a surprise, and I was not expecting it at all, to be honest. And I'm really happy.
You saw the crowd
Can't wait to see his
reaction?
fight.
The crowd was
Yeah,
freaking stunned.
everybody was crazy excited.
Yeah, that was really cool. Brian, how do you feel? I know you told me you don't really like the small guys, but do you think that
Yeah, I
you
mean,
want to check them out?
I already got an opinion. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive. I know he's good
Uh-huh.
because people talk about him. I don't watch NXT like that,
Uh-huh.
but it's like I kind of see him as like the new breed of like the wrestlers, like from New Japan. I see him as a Finn Balor and Adam Cole and all that stuff.
Yeah, he is. No, you're right. You're right. He is in that
Yeah,
tier.
yeah. So the thing is, I'm not that big on those, but I'm glad like I'm glad like the crowds, like I'm happy, like I'm glad to hear the pop of the crowds now. I
Yeah,
feel like it felt like Attitude Era, like every crowd, everybody who came out, the crowd was fucking going
yeah,
crazy
dude.
for it.
The crowd tonight
The
was
crowd was
freaking
wild tonight.
wild, wild, wild. I loved it. Sold out arena from top to bottom. It was legit sold out, not inflated where behind the cameras it was empty. It was a legit sold out crowd. And I think tonight's show delivered, bro. It showed what we've seen consistently for the last several weeks since Vince McMahon stepped down. We're able to see a consistent narrative with women being a very good focal point in the show in a fun, exciting way with backstage segments, cutoffs, and you know those old school, like you said, Attitude Era type of setups where someone's cutting a promo, they get interrupted, it becomes a big brawl, and they have a match, and it has meaning. You know, what's one of the main things that we've always talked about, like AEW or even WWE, when they've gotten sloppy with their storytelling? They don't do the build up to create a reason for the match. And I feel
Yeah,
like
the build up for every match has been really good so far.
yeah, like I remember I was washing some dishes and Junior's like, "Oh, come over here, look at what's happening." Like this, like he was legit excited and into it. So,
Yeah, like the Damian Priest and the Edge
oh
one
yeah,
were
the main
good
event.
too.
The main
Yeah.
event,
Mm.
exactly.
It
So
was
I
big, bro. And
it
he looked like he got a little gut on him now, bro.
who Edge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edge. Yeah, he's not as shizzled as he was when he first came in from his
Nah,
big
but like
return.
it was just like a few months ago though.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened. I think he got injured or something. He took like some time off. Something happened to him when they beat him up from the group.
Yeah. And
Something
how'd you like
happened.
Finn's new theme music?
It goes more with him. It felt like it was remixed with his old one. So I thought it was cool. I'm a little heartbroken though because Judgment Day had that dope ass Edge inspired theme song that they got from the group that does Edge's song, and I really like it. But they went away from it, and it's okay. I mean, I like for that theme to be his personally. I don't really like that they changed what I think they changed. I think they changed the Judgment Day theme. I don't like that. I like the one that they had before. What up, Kev? How's it
Mhm.
going? But yeah, Jeff. When Damian Priest came out, you felt like you were watching a main eventer almost. You know, you got that main event vibe. You got that big fight feel, and they treated him with respect. Remember that Damian Priest was under Triple H's tutelage along with Triple H's crew when Damian Priest was there. Damian Priest is one that was in NXT for like maybe 2 years or so before he got called up. And not that WWE mistreated him on their main roster. He's actually one of the more successful stories. Got teamed up with Bad Bunny, won the U.S. title. He just hasn't had any significant feuds, and joining Judgment Day was supposed to be, something major for his career early on in the main roster, but taking Edge out of it kind of made him like one of the leaders, so to speak. But back to the Johnny Gargano conversation. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to act like a big wagoner, because that's what I was telling Brian. Like, I'm happy he's in WWE, because one of the things that me and Brian, I felt like we would come on here and tell you guys every stream that we did leading into the game, leading into every pay-per-view. I felt like me and Brian were constantly telling everyone how WWE has so many stars, but people didn't want to give them credit. When people were like, oh, it's just Roman Reigns, there's nobody else, and we'll go down the list. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn was doing great. Seth Rollins, Edge was back, Randy was there at the time, Riddle, and the list goes on and on. Finn Balor, on and off. And a lot of people were like, oh, WWE doesn't have anybody. But now, obviously with the change within creative, we're seeing a new direction, and it's been a breath of fresh air. And like I said, there's a lot of consistency. We got Karrion Kross, who I'm actually more excited about Karrion Kross than I am about Johnny Gargano, if I'm honest with you guys. I just want the competitive level to like feel like the Attitude Era. None of these people are gonna match pound for pound what the Attitude Era had. I don't think the Attitude Era will ever, and I mean never, 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 ever, will it be replicated. I don't care how hard AEW tries. I don't care how hard Triple H tries. New Japan, TNA, whatever. That edgy superstar, like loaded locker room with Undertakers and Kanes and just, man, I'm not even going to list everyone from the Attitude Era, but it's an overwhelming amount. Even if some of these guys do end up in the Hall of Fame, it's just not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's never going to happen. Well, it kind of is like saying impossible, but it ain't happening, bro. What we witnessed in the Attitude Era was a moment in time and a phase in wrestling that will never be replicated, because you're not going to get Stone Cold and The Rock at the same time again, along with a Triple H, along with a Shawn Michaels, along with an Undertaker, along with a Kurt Angle, along with the Brock Lesnar. Even the Brock Lesnar came in later, but there was still Hulk Hogan. There was just so many awesome, badass wrestlers. But when you see guys like Karrion Kross get called into this, you got Johnny Gargano here, and then now we got Dexter Lumis, who's like in the background, which you like that moment too, right, Junior? I remember when he took the Miz, you got hyped.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny and like surprising as well.
Yeah, he was trying to get AJ Styles, but he ended up going to get the Miz.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy the way that Triple H is presenting these characters. There's continuity. What is it? What's the word, Brian? How do you say it? Continuity? Continuity? Damn, I'm botching it. Yeah. Well, you guys get what I mean. They're continuing the stories that we saw in NXT and building off of that. Highly unlikely because it happened before, but Kurt Angle's going to be on Raw next week. What if a certain someone like The Fiend attack Kurt or Cliffhanger? Like, look, they could use Kurt Angle being on the show to catapult somebody else. I just don't see The Fiend coming back just yet. I think if The Fiend were to come back, it should be at the closing of a pay-per-view.
So is that shit back on the table now that Triple H is running things?
Yeah, according to everybody, The Fiend is like a done deal.
Really?
Yeah, like they're saying that Fiend is WWE bound.
I thought it wasn't because of Vince or anything. I thought it was him that didn't want to just come back.
Bro, I think it was him. I just feel like he's ready to come back and he just doesn't know where he wants to be. Honestly, and now that Triple H is there, I think it's making it appealing for him. Because he's another guy that worked with Triple H, I think, too. Well, he worked with a lot of people, not just Triple H, but... You know who I feel really bad for? I wish William Regal was still with WWE.
Nah, I think I like him. I think I like him in AEW, bro. He's gonna be like I want him to he has a bigger role in AEW than he's gonna have in WWE.
Well, because he's on the main TV show, but in NXT he was like a legit trainer for them. He wasn't just a
Yeah.
on-screen GM.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I want that to be big for him, you know?
Oh, like you want him on the TV.
Yeah.
Okay. No, if that's the
Who I
case,
was thinking about tonight, who I felt so bad, because bro, Sami Zayn got one of the biggest pops. Kevin Owens got one of the biggest pops. Edge got like a pay-per-view level pop.
Trish
Like all the
Stratus.
Canadians.
What are you gonna say,
Huh?
Trish Stratus?
Yeah, Trish Stratus got a big ass, but like all the Canadians, right?
Yeah.
And the shit was like a welcome home like tour or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
I
welcome
couldn't
back.
stop thinking. I couldn't stop thinking in my head. I'm like, dog, I feel so bad for Chris Jericho not being there.
Oh, yeah. He could have been there.
Like Chris Jericho would have gotten like a Stone Cold level.
Oh man, that shit would have been ridiculous. I would like to see what imagine a partnership between Chris Jericho and Triple H. How would Triple H
I
handle
don't think
Jericho?
so, bro. I don't think. Like I know they're cordial, but I think like Chris Jericho got most of his freedom, like going to New Japan and coming back
From
and
Vince.
leaving WWE and coming back because his relationship with Vince.
Yeah. Vince loved him or
He
loves
was a
him.
lot closer to Vince than he ever was
Yeah, but
with Triple H. In
well,
fact, they used to hate each other, and on podcasts now, he said like their relationship's not what it used to be, like back in the day where they hated each other, but they're definitely not like
yeah, like friends, like buddies.
yeah. So like
Well,
I doubt like with everything AEW, like Triple H even thinking about Chris.
but remember, bro, there's been NXT tournaments that WWE has held, and Triple H has called out to get people from like the indies, and he's gotten people from all over the world, like New Japan, to make appearances, like one-time appearances, like for the tournaments. You don't think that he could like not while under AEW contract, but you don't think that he'll bring in bringing
No,
in
I
Kurt
think
Angle in Pittsburgh?
He'll come back eventually, probably, maybe when he's getting ready to retire or some shit.
What up, Jackson? Yeah, I think when he's ready to retire, which he said he's not close to getting to that. What up, James? How's it going, bro? Yes, one reason watching the product. That's why Roman is way better now than ever, because wanted him to be a monster heel and is working. What do you mean, Marley? Roman has been a great character for the last 2 years or so. Is that what you're talking about? That they allowed him to be a heel? Comments came out about Vince being very bipolar with Bray's character, and Bray didn't like it. Yeah, no, well, I know Bray. From what I read in that same report, they had obviously issues, and Vince called him a fat fuck and all these bad things. But I don't know if Bray cared to wrestle, period, because he could have been anywhere by now, and he hasn't in a long time.
I saw the clip of when Roman finally came back to beat him for the Universal.
Yeah, it was at SummerSlam.
Yeah, like we forgot how good that little feud, because it was short, but we forgot.
Yeah, it was super
Like
short.
he came back, and I was like, "That's it, bro." He got the belt when he had speared him and shit, and when he was standing over the Fiend, and he says, "You're a freak in a mask. You're not ready for this responsibility."
Oh yeah, I did see that video
like
recently.
Holding the belt.
Yeah, over his head like if he was a piece of shit. I'm interested to see where Loomis thing goes, but what if Loomis turns into Miz, into more unhinged, and Ciampa is shocked, Miz goes bald? Nah, Miz ain't going bald. Miz will go to bat for WWE for just about anything than shaving his head, I think. In my opinion, I think Undisputed Era will return. Yeah, I think Adam Cole will return eventually, bro. He hasn't done shit in AEW. Not as a face, the fans were booing. No, we're talking about the last, since 2020 that Roman Reigns came back. I think it was SummerSlam, like I just said now. Yeah. Roman Reigns has been on a massive run. And yeah, I get it, because people always bring up, well, Roman was the chosen one. He was like being pushed like John Cena for like 5 years. I'm not, when you guys hear me talk about Roman's greatness, that is part of like what got him to where he's at now. Obviously, it's part of his career.
You just gotta tell him to watch the Evil series.
Yeah, exactly. If you pick up on the Evil series where they picked up at, which is when he came back 2 years ago, That's the Roman I'm constantly raving about. Because I did enjoy Roman in those 5 years he was on, but I never saw him as the top guy despite being in main events and in the title picture. I still saw John Cena, who was still active at that point in time, as one of the top guys. And I forgot who else was there, but I saw others over Roman.
They were talking about today. They consider him. I forgot what podcast it was. It was one of those legit like wrestling whatever shits on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they put him. So they're like, oh, greatest wrestling champions of all time. They're like, you got The Rock and Stone Cold, who are interchangeable. He's like, you can put one or two.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, I'm not gonna argue whichever order you put them. But he goes, but now when you start thinking about for third, he's like, you have to put Roman
As the great,
But
yeah.
he was
I mean, who's been better since both of those guys?
because he starts thinking, you start adding names like John Cena, Undertaker. He's like, Undertaker has always been a star, but has he ever been the guy?
Yeah, no, he
He's
wasn't.
like, he's like off the top of my head, I can't remember him main eventing a WrestleMania. And then he said, he's like, in John Cena's case, he's like, yeah, you can mention the 16 champions or whatever, but then he doubles The Rock and Stone Cold in champions, so those numbers don't really mean anything. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, he's like, he's never been through his entire career. John Cena's never been undisputed, I think.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now. He had it when it was just called the Undisputed Championship, when they turned it into one belt.
Oh, when they merged them.
Yeah.
Right. But as far as like, come on, bro, how much? 700 and
Yeah, the Universal belt.
days, whatever.
Yeah.
He said the longest John Cena ever had it was like 340 or something.
Yeah, John
like
Cena
that.
jumped in and out. He jumped in and out a lot. Let me see what John Cena's longest title reign has been. His first title reign, John Cena, was 280 days.
That was his longest or his first?
No, it's just his first. Hold on, I'm trying to look up the stats right now. One of his shortest title reigns was as a World Tag Champion, 6 days. That's funny. Yo, his shortest championship was when he was WWE Tag Champion with The Miz, 9 minutes. That is hilarious. 380 days is the longest, 2006 to 2007. So, I mean, look, if you're talking about having the belt, like title reign, like one of the greatest champions of all time, I mean, we're being disrespectful because we're not mentioning Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan. We're not mentioning Bob Buckland.
That's why I said the modern era.
Yeah, if you're talking about modern era, and you're gonna skip over John Cena's era, then yes, you got 100. There's nobody bigger that
modern era, I'm including
like the 2000s till now,
like the Attitude Era and everything. That's why he put him in third.
Well, yeah, nobody has had a longer reign. I mean, CM Punk was probably the other one that had like almost 400 days, but that's about it. And then Brock Lesnar had almost like 3-something. Yeah, bro, Roman. If you're talking about just really just the belt and best reign, longest, and in terms of days and stories and all that, it's definitely Roman. If you're talking about who followed The Rock and Stone Cold as the guy, it's 120,000% John Cena. You can't skip John Cena at all. The only way you skip John Cena in this conversation, if you're talking about title reigns, then it's Roman. But if you're talking about who led after Rock, Stone Cold, whatever.
And on top of that, I think I'm seeing here, and I think Cena and Reigns are both tied with 5 WrestleMania events.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Reigns is going to surpass him.
And on top of that, Reigns is carrying 2 shows, Raw and SmackDown now.
Well, yeah, but don't
He
damn.
has both belts.
You shouldn't have said that.
Oh,
Well, I
why?
don't know if we have enough people that are. What up, Safe? I don't know if we have enough people that are willing to debate right now, but a lot of people, because I've seen it in the Discord from the people from our community, and I've also seen it on Twitter. A lot of people are actually pissed off that he has both belts because they're saying that he's holding like Raw hostage, for example. Like he's a terrible
Yeah,
Raw
but
champion.
I don't know. I think the shows are great because during John Cena's like era and shit when he was fucking champ, the heavyweight belt I still meant something, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
No,
like
for
when
sure.
Triple H had it and Randy had it or Edge or some shit like that. Like that belt meant something, so he didn't
Mhm.
really need it. Like he had always another superstar with him.
Yeah, of course. What up, D? Yeah, no, for sure.
And like at the level Roman is right now, he's carrying like both shows, even when he's not there.
Yeah, we talked about it recently. Another thing that Roman has been able to do with his characterization and his title reign is elevate the Usos and make them feel like main events, and also elevate other characters that have been involved with the Usos in general. It's like the Roman effect, you know what I mean? It's not Roman Reigns just out for himself. I feel like when John Cena was there, it was kind of hard for John Cena to put over people without him actually doing it himself within the parameters of their story and him letting them go over. Whereas in Roman, even if you're losing a Roman, it kind of feels like putting up a valiant effort is still helping your career in a way. It just depends what you do after, you know? And that's the biggest trick to the play. I'm doing good, Safe. I'm just here, man. Just here. We're gonna get into some gaming here shortly, just talking about Raw and Roman and all that. He should not have both belts. I think he should drop the WWE title in some way, shape, or form, because I like having 2 separate champs. But I also like that Roman is a unique champion, and adding the 2 titles to him is definitely impressive, bro. He's on a run of a lifetime. He is 1,000% on another level, and the people that are not appreciating his greatness right now are eventually gonna appreciate it whenever he decides to, do something else. Always like Roman, but hated how they pushed him, let him develop with the fans and see where he could go. What I didn't like about Roman, the only complaint that I had, and I've always been a fan of Roman, even when people bashed. I liked him as champion, and I liked because I liked his look and the brawler and the spear and the. I didn't care too much about the punch, but I like
But
some
you
of
know
his moves.
why they explain all that shit in the Evil series? Why they did Roman the way they did? Because what people tend to forget, they pushed Roman the exact same way Cena did. People
Yeah,
didn't like Cena,
yeah. They thought that
and
people would
then
eventually turn.
then they started loving him. Cena became the biggest thing ever, and out of nowhere, everybody started turning on him. And
Yeah,
for years, they didn't like him, but they stayed the course, and it paid off at the end for John Cena. So they tried to replay it with Roman.
of course.
And they all explain that shit in the series. Even Triple H saying they fucked up because they thought they could hit it twice with Cena.
Out the
But
park.
what people don't but people want to act like Cena came in and was just like bam. Like Cena was forced.
Yeah,
Whether you like
100%.
whether you like him or not, nobody can say Cena was not fucking forced.
No,
So I find
100%.
that shit hypocritical that they hate that they talk shit about Vince and everything Roman for like pushing Roman down our throats when Cena was forced. And after a while, we just fucking took him
Yeah.
and
No,
accepted him.
for me, I'm definitely one of those. After a while, I accepted him because I didn't like Cena. I didn't like Cena for a long time.
Yeah. So they were planning on keep doing that with Roman, but if you watch the Evil series, the breaking point was when he came back from
Leukemia break.
leukemia.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Roman.
came back from leukemia and they still fucking booed.
Yeah.
And then at that point, that's when back office had lost faith. Like basically, like dog, if this dude can come back from a near death like experience, and the crowd is still not taking him,
Yeah, we got to do something.
exactly, you got to do something different. And
Look,
that's when they decided just to let it go and be like, fuck it, we're turning him heel.
look at Straight Edge. Now that Vince is gone, hopefully Triple H drops Roman down a little bit. He's not gonna drop Roman down a little bit because bro, like I said it earlier when we started talking about Roman. Roman has been praised from people from all over the world, across the globe, from different companies that haven't even wrestled with Roman. People acknowledge his greatness, and these are his peers that work the same job he does. Who are we as fans to say that Roman is not deserving or that Triple H should put him down? Triple H ain't putting him down.
Well, let's see, man. I mean, at the end, it's gonna he's definitely like, if his title reign was like a mountain and shit, we're definitely past the peak, and he's definitely down. He's definitely bound to lose it sooner than from
And
when he
later.
had it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
He's on the other side of the hill already.
He's already, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. He's on the other side of the hill, so we're already seeing like the last like months or days or whatever of his title reign.
Yeah, he could drop it at any point in time, which is what makes all these upcoming feuds that he has in store pretty significant. They need to capitalize on it.
But it's not like he's gonna get dropped a bit, but I definitely think he'll probably be losing the title like sooner than later.
And look, let me jump on that Straight Edge hate wagon real quick. Because Straight Edge, you're going to be the first person that I see complain in the chat when this shit happens. When Roman Reigns drops the freaking title and Roman Reigns is still main eventing the shows without the title like Cena did, and CM Punk was in the middle of the card with the title being defended in the middle of the card, and Roman is closing out the show as the main attraction without the belt, you're going to be one of the guys complaining. I promise you're going to be complaining. Oh, why is this guy the main event? He's not even a champion anymore. It's because the bloodline's always main event, bro. Roman's going to be main event Roman without the belt. You see, Roman's at a point where he don't need the belt anymore. He is the main attraction. He is the main seller. He's the biggest dude.
Funny? I didn't notice when he came from behind and he speared the Fiend for his comeback. Mm-hmm. The shirt he was wearing was smash them all or some shit and leave.
Yeah. Wreck them, smash them, and leave or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn. In my head, I was like, damn. Were they planning from that point to basically let this shit was gonna be like his final like run?
It seems like it, right? I think they might have talked about something because when they restructured his deal, it went too smooth. There was no arguing with him taking less dates and shit.
Because I didn't even think about it, so I saw it like the back then when he came back, and then he smashed the Fiend, and I saw his shirt, and I was like, leave, and I was like, and then he's brought it up on his promos recently. Remember, like, oh, I said it over 2 years ago, and I came back.
Yeah, I thought I was lying.
Smash them all, and then leave.
Wreck everyone and leave. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, there's nobody else, whatever. So I'm like, dog, way back in 2019, I'm like, do you think it was like they were planning like this crazy? Because I'm like, dog, there's no way they're that much of a genius.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Respect for this shit to happen the way it's happened.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that they're a genius in a way for like planning somewhat of his character, like him and Paul Heyman and stuff, because Paul Heyman was instrumental with all of this. But to think that he would have gotten like generational level, like, ooh, Peace Super,
and then like wrap up like his little final tour, and then just leave to wherever the fuck he's gonna do next.
Nah, that's too much. Super, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. If there's any new viewers, consider subscribing to the channel. We play games, talk wrestling, movies, and reviews, all that good stuff. Welcome. Yeah, nah, they didn't build that up since then. Hell no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm like, because I'm like, it's like surreal, scary, like seeing like you look at the old footage, and it's like it almost looks like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I hear you, Jackson. I hear you, bro. He's going to be tight. He's going to be complaining about it. Yeah, of course he's going to be tight when Roman is fighting in the main event without the belt on the line. Hey, Lex, do you think people will be allowed to thank Vince McMahon at the Hall of Fame now? Oh, yeah. Some people did anyways more recently. Wreck everyone and leave. Yeah, Byron. But they let Cena develop with the fans. Some of that was what I'm saying. Nah, no, they didn't, bro. Cena, remember,
even after Stone Cold or whatever, that the Ruthless Aggression era, when it was Eddie Guerrero and Edge or whatever, there was a point in time that people block out of their heads that the fans rejected him.
Yeah, and he was coming out with the thugonomics, and nah, bro, Cena wasn't always accepted. People like the thugonomics Cena now more than they did then. Roman Reigns is doing Hollywood after he's done. I mean, probably so. We don't know that for sure. I know he's gonna have to retire early because of his leukemia, anyways, which is why he couldn't play football in the first place. Triple H is a tribal chief, and Roman is the tribal chump, bro. Triple H loves Roman Reigns. That's another Triple H product, fool. Triple H loves all those guys. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. You know, if Dean Ambrose was in WWE right now, Jon Moxley was in WWE right now, he would be enjoying life even more. Or not, well, not even more. I'm just saying even more because he would be main eventing WrestleMania and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say even more because AEW has made him the poster child over there. So he's actually enjoying life in AEW. I'm talking shit. Cena had to work for that. There's no development for the fans. No, Cena did work for it. Cena did work.
Work too, though.
Yeah, Roman has worked it. Bro, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, you guys are catching me praising Roman right now because Roman is the guy that's carrying right now. But if Cena was carrying right now, I'd be giving Cena all the props in the world, which I did. You know, when I didn't do wrestling YouTube consistently to this level, because I would only upload reactions back then. I didn't really do a lot of wrestling reviews. But, you know, there comes a point in time that you just got to give credit where credit is due. And Cena is one of those guys that earned that respect out of me in due time, even if I didn't like that he was winning and beating everybody. You get me? So, Cena's a generational talent. And before Cena, you know, like Brock Lesnar dominated more when he came back after 2012, which is when Cena was kind of getting ready to leave shortly after that, you know, awkward period of time. Because I mentioned it here, and there was promos and things that Cena cut and Triple H said and stuff from behind the scenes. CM Punk, as great as he was, as amazing as he was, Cena was still the main guy at that point in time, and then Brock was the main guy at a certain point in time recently too, when he was in and out. But there's guys that help build up these characters, and guys that help, you know, like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's amazing, and he is a generational type talent, and people love Randy Orton, but he's not the guy. You get me? It was John Cena. And right now, Seth Rollins is amazing, generational type talent. Bray Wyatt is amazing, generational type talent. But they're not the guy. It's Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns. Love it or hate it, bro. You got to respect it because the kind of work that he's put in. And look, this is not even coming because I text Brian this all the time when we look at Roman promos and we overanalyze it. Like, I'm not even just writing this guy's, like, I'm not writing his weenie is what I'm trying to say. I know a lot of people always say, oh, you just write, you're just a writer. You're just writing the wave. Look at his mannerisms. It's his timing. When he responds, the way he responds, the way he interacts with the crowd during his matches and during his promos in the ring, the way he looks at the camera. You know what I'm saying? The way that is just, it's all the elements that make someone a generational type talent. He's doing things like with a calm, cool, and collected vibe while shitting on you at the same time.
Did you not see the backstage promo we got with Sami Zayn?
Yeah, exactly. That promo with Sami Zayn is like, Roman doesn't even have to wrestle. He could cut a promo like that, and you're going to see, just pay attention to his facial expressions. Look at the cues, man. Look at the timing of it. When Sami Zayn gets up and walks out of the camera shot and the camera focuses on Roman, his face and how he looked disappointed and how he was angry and shit, like, it's believable in the wrestling world, but most importantly, it was just perfect, bro. It's just perfect. He gets it. He gets the character. He gets the tone that he's going for. And when you find that alignment, the way that he has, where he applies his real life persona with the charismatic, larger than life characterization that WWE always offers, when you combine those two things and you add a little, Hollywood flair to it, and you get that timing, that's what makes it special. Sammy made it good. Sammy made it extra good. But at the end of the day, the person carrying that promo was Roman, which is the point that I'm trying to make. That he gets it, bro. He gets it. And it's something that is really hard to explain and really hard to teach. If you were to ask me, Lex, what the hell does Roman get? I would tell you, I don't know. He gets how to make people feel through a TV screen, even if he's doing a backstage segment. And that's really important. Because I love Kevin Owens. Bro, I think Kevin Owens is really freaking good. One of my favorites in WWE right now. But how does Kevin Owens rile you up? It's usually by screaming and by being pumped up and by doing something like in your face like that, right? Because when he cuts his promos talking, he's not really doing much for you. And either you have it or you don't. Roman could cut a promo just talking to you, and he'll move an emotion in you. And it's not that Kevin Owens is bad. It's just the characterization, bro. It's just how it works. So
just look at Paul Heyman's promo when he called Roman the GOAT.
Oh, exactly.
He said, you could take your Bruno Sammartinos, your Hulk Hogan's, your Dwayne The Rock Johnsons, your Stone Colds. He goes, he will stack them, smash them,
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and pen them. Hold on, guys. I'm texting my nephew. He said he was falling asleep. So yeah, that's what I'm saying when Roman is good, bro. What up, Haven? That's what I'm talking about when you guys hear me praising Roman. I'm not just praising the matches or that he's doing flips from the turnbuckle and doing all this crazy shit. It's just everything that he does, bro. The way that he does it and his presentation. Even when he's coming out and he's with the Usos, he looks over his shoulder, looks at his cousin on one side, looks at his cousin and Paul Heyman on the other. He puts he has his title around his chest. He puts his hand out. Paul Heyman hands the belt to him. He looks at Paul Heyman, looks at the belt. Those are all things that he does naturally and coordinated, obviously, for his characterization. And it works. And depending on the city he's in, just the way he approaches the segment is just, it's always really spot on and very, very consistent, man. And I'm not taking away from Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or Seth Rollins or any of those guys who are all phenomenal and I absolutely love. Bro, look, I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan. Love Drew McIntyre. Love the shit that he's done and what he's done recently, even better. Awesome, right? I love him. But at the end of the day, he still comes off as like, Goldberg. Oh, you're next. Oh, I come out here. Like, that big tough machismo stuff, which I enjoy that too. That Drew McIntyre reminds me a lot of like old wrestlers, like the old school wrestlers, the gladiator type wrestlers, the big dudes and shit like that.
And I kind of feel bad for him because the thing is, like, as his reign like gonna come to an end, like the next guy to carry the brand
Cody
points it points to Cody, bro. And I'm like, damn, I feel bad for Drew.
Yeah, I feel bad for Drew too. He's gonna be another Randy.
But it looks like, come on, it's Cody's time, bro. Like he has the years. He has probably the most disrespected family in wrestling history.
100%.
Because what people forget, but Goldust, his brother Goldust, he used to have feuds with like Stone Cold and all that shit in the 90s. Like he
was part of the Attitude Era. He was the pinnacle.
He was top tier heel,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, he was.
And then you go to his dad who was like his feuds with Ric Flair. Like he was Ric Flair's rival.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And they've never got into that top of the mountain. They've never held the main belt.
No, at all.
It's like, and with everything that Cody's done with AEW and the pop that he's had, like he has to be the one to carry the company next.
Nah, for sure.
Has to be.
Has to be. For sure.
And I just feel bad because I was like, damn, because it's like Drew's earned it too.
Nah, he has. I think Drew, not that WWE owes him, but they need especially now with Triple H in charge, I think that he before Cody gets his big run or his big whatever moment, which I'm looking forward to it 100%. I think Drew McIntyre definitely deserves to right that wrong, because when he became champion during the COVID era, the pandemic was with the no fans and shit. That shit must have sucked like so hard. But KQ, I do see what you're saying. Having Heyman in his corner, plus the heel persona, definitely helped Roman flourish for sure. That's 100% true. And then yeah, you're talking about Theory having it down with the facial expressions and the mannerisms. Just needs to the promo down. Yeah, I think that he does need to work on the promo a little bit, but his in-ring ability plus, like you said, facial expressions and mannerisms plus selling, I think Theory is 100% part of that future wave of talent that we're
and
gonna
on
see.
top of that, Theory's a fucking baby, bro. He has fucking years.
Yeah, he's like 23, I
He
think so.
he has years to be the main guy. There's
Yeah,
no rush at all
yeah,
with
at
Theory.
all. For sure, for
Like
sure.
like you gotta like the people that you have to make like right now are like the Drews and the Codys
Yeah, Kevin
and like the
Owens.
Ciampas and shit.
Yeah, and Ciampa. Yep.
And Kevin Owens.
I give credit where credit is due, and I love this run that Roman is on, honestly, for sure, bro. Do you still play Multiverses? Yep, I've played it off stream more than I have on stream, if I'm honest. Yeah, Drew has come a long way from the Ruthless Aggression era, PG era, promo still needs some. Yeah, I think that I think he'll get his moment in the sun sooner rather than later, once they figure out what they're gonna do with Roman. I'm gonna tell Lux something. I know we're talking about Raw. What happened, Byron? What's up? Do you think Triple H will add NXT 2.0 to the Survivor Series this year or next year? I don't think that they should add NXT 2.0 to the Survivor Series. I think that they should keep NXT with their takeovers, man. Especially now more than ever. I currently watching Raw as I just got off work barely an hour ago. What up, Mark? How's it going, man? How are you enjoying Raw so far? He's 24? Yeah, exactly. So Theory has a long way to go, man.
You think it's a demotion that they're having Alexa Bliss and now tag team with Asuka?
No, they need a tag team for the tournament. So I think it's a cool little storyline they got right now. It gives her something to do as well without having to put her up against Bianca Belair to lose. Is it a demotion compared to where she was at before? Oh, for sure. But I think
She
that
was like the face of the women's division. They kind of like knocked her down bad, bro, ever since the Fiend left.
yeah, because the thing is that when they left, she almost had like no explanation for why she had a doll or why she was doing what she was doing, and they went completely away from the characterization of the Fiend, you know? So they kind
And
of
is it me or are they giving way too much attention to
women.
Bianca Belair?
Uh,
Like she feels like a champion with like no storyline. Because I think like Liv,
no, she
like
doesn't
Liv
have a
has a
story.
storyline. Liv, who's she going against now? Oh, Shayna
Shayna
Baszler.
Baszler, yeah.
Like she had a great story. She had a great little feud with Ronda. Great. Now she has a great feud with Shayna and shit like that. And I feel like Bianca Belair's just like piggybacking on other people's like feuds.
Yeah, because they're trying to promote the Bailey story.
Yeah,
They're
the
more
Bailey story. But on top of that, even before that, like her and Becky is like it was kind of whack. It was like there's no direction.
well, the match was good, but yeah, no, there wasn't really a real direction. Honestly, it was just about her getting revenge for what happened. No, I think that this is ultimately to build up the Bailey crew, because Bailey's crew has had more has gotten more of the attention on Monday Night Raw for the women's division than the actual belt. So they kind of stuck her in there. But you're right, she definitely doesn't have anything going. Wasn't Bianca supposed to feud with Bailey? I think eventually they will after Clash at the Castle. Now Bailey apparently is gonna feud with Trish. She is. You think we see Dolph, Beth, and Edge versus Judgment Day? Nah, Elhammer. Someone else said that about Dolph. I don't think that's happening. I'm doing good, Mark. I'm here, man. Just chilling. You watch AW, Raw, SmackDown last few weeks. I love Raw more than anything else. That was awesome. Glad you're enjoying Raw, brother. Saints Row got 60 on Metacritic. That don't matter, Byron. Byron, have you played it? Answer me that, Byron. Have you played it? I think Alexa Bliss, the kid has a lot to offer. Asuka, Alexa's my favorite female wrestler anyway, and she's a rare talent. Damn, Jackson, you like her that much? I don't really see her like a rare talent, if I'm honest. You're wrong, Lexx. Whoever wins the WWE Championship or Universal Championship is the top guy. What are you talking about? Nah, man. How many times did John Cena not have the belt and John Cena was still the top guy? Please give me a break. Do you see Bailey's team as champions like how Toxic Attraction was?
John Cena main evented WrestleMania without the belt.
Yeah, bro. Like that's not. I'm not even entertaining that argument. That argument. That's not even an argument. Honestly, there's just pure facts out there. You could look it up if you don't believe me. If you think that I'm bullshitting, which I'm not, I'm using the facts of what I saw in WWE and what I've continued to see on WWE. There's wrestlers that are bigger than the belt, and they don't need the belt to be a main event. And John Cena was 100% one of them. What up, Anthony? It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. I haven't really been streaming the last couple of days. I've had a lot of stuff going on, so I haven't had a chance to be on here. But we're here now, man. Got to make the best of it. Yeah, Bailey's crew could definitely win the belt. They'll eventually do it. I've enjoyed any segment with Bailey. Yeah, I think the Bailey segments on Raw have been pretty promising.
She's alright. I don't really like her as a heel.
I don't either. She reminds me of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, she's a little cringe and shit.
Yeah. I do want to mention, even though we are discussing Raw, and we're going to continue talking about WWE. Just want to give.
I like her better as the female John Cena.
Yeah, which is what she was. I just want to give a big shout out to AEW and mention, because I wanted to stream during Dynamite when it ended, and I didn't have a chance to, unfortunately. But I'm really happy to see Kenny Omega back. I mean, don't really care too much that he's tag teaming with the Young Bucks, because I feel like they're kind of like an OP team. But I'm really happy that he's finally back and we're seeing him. I really missed him. I felt like it's funny because I didn't know. Like, I like Kenny Omega, and I've always liked who he was as a person once I met him through the Chris Jericho feud. And I saw their match and I thought it was fantastic. And then I started seeing him in AEW, and I saw him more in AEW and seeing his little speeches when they leak on Twitter and stuff with the fans. I really like the guy. I like that he's a gamer. He's very passionate about the business, and he's very skilled too.
Yeah, I hate his theme music.
Oh, the little Japanese inspired stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very gamer, like arcadey gamer type. I know he's a real nerd. He's a real life nerd, and he embraces that shit. So, yeah, I'm happy he's back, and I want to see what they end up doing with him. I didn't know how much I would actually miss him in AEW, but honestly, I missed him a lot, more than I would have thought. Honestly, every time I would tune in, I'm like, damn, when is Kenny coming back? So happy to see him back, and they had a pretty solid match too. Their finish was dope. I just feel like every time I see the Young Bucks, since I know that they're part of like the behind the scenes crew and stuff, I don't know why I never really got that feeling with Cody, because Cody never really went for the main belts. But I don't know. I just feel like the Young Bucks are so OP, and they have like a super big ass team. Oh yeah, the after show promo. Yeah, that was really nice. I've always hated Bailey until now. I can't agree with you. I respectfully disagree. No problem, Mark. If you like her now, that's cool. I think she's much better as the John Cena of women, which is what she was for a while, but I get it. When you hold the top title of any promotion, you're the top man. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, when CM Punk was champion, he was really one of the most loved guys. But
that's not right. What was the statistic that we showed the other day? Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But when CM Punk went on that run, I think it was something like out of like 17 pay-per-views.
Yeah, he barely
CM Punk main evented like 3 of them.
Yeah. And
CM Punk was not the main guy.
And people were fighting with me, like if I'm not a CM Punk fan, or like if I wasn't a CM Punk mark, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. CM Punk was the guy. He was selling I don't know how much, and he was doing this and that. And every time I brought up John Cena, but John Cena had the kids. That's not fair because CM Punk was more for the adults. Not true. All the people that were crying that CM Punk came back to AEW were not only people my age, but were also the people that saw him when they were young. When CM Punk was in WWE balling, these people were kids and they were freaking going nuts when he went to AEW. CM Punk does have kid fans, but he never surpassed John Cena because John Cena was the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Lakers. You could be a really big wrestler selling big merchandise, but to beat John Cena is going to take a lot more than what Punk had going. And unfortunately, as much as I loved, to me, CM Punk was the guy because I loved him more than I loved Cena. And it annoyed me that Cena was main eventing, but like I said, Cena was main event status regardless of what he had around his waist. And that's not that CM Punk sucked. It's just the way the business works. CM Punk said it himself. He knew why The Rock and CM Punk, he knew why The Rock and John Cena were main eventing. Because they sold more. I think the best pay-per-view main event that CM Punk had, in my opinion, in WWE was probably the main event he had with John Cena at Money in the Bank. That, to me, is the most memorable, amazing moment in his entire career. I loved it so much. And what made CM...
I'm just happy he got to fight The Rock.
Yeah, that was an accomplishment. And that The Rock was willing to work with him. Like, it's such a good feeling to see your guy be able to get those spots. And it sucks, bro, because, look, guys, I wanted him to main event with Taker. I wanted him to main event with Rock and things like that. But it just like Randy Orton is amazing, CM Punk was amazing, and John Cena was just the guy, bro. It is what it is. It's not because people are like, oh no, it's WWE's fault. It's all Vince McMahon. It's all Vince. Bro. CM Punk said it himself. He was fighting through injuries because WWE didn't want him to take a break. WWE knew his worth. They used him in the spots that they could. Could they have given him a couple more main events? Yes, bro. Of course, I'll argue that. I'm a CM Punk fan. Of course, CM Punk could have main evented a couple shows more than what they gave him. It's not that he wasn't selling hot tickets or he wasn't a big thing. He was a big deal. He was one of the hottest things. But even when Daniel Bryan was in the peak of his yes movement against the Authority, that didn't make Daniel Bryan the biggest guy in the company. It made him one of the hottest characters and people in the company, but he still wasn't the guy. It was still Brock Lesnar, and it was still John Cena. So, you know, I don't know if it's because people don't remember or people don't know the facts or like people like sometimes when I say these things on here, just because it's been a couple years, people talk to me like if I'm talking crazy or like if I'm full of shit, like if I wasn't a big CM Punk freaking diehard fan.
Bro. Point is, bro, we stand by what we say. Just because you have the belt doesn't mean you're the guy.
Exactly. And I truly believe that, bro. I truly believe that.
Maybe 80 to 90% of the time, yeah, you're the fucking guy. They're putting the belt on you. But that's not always the case.
No, it really isn't, bro. And another thing that really this conversation has made me kind of get a little annoyed a little more now in 2022 with the conversations we've had with the community. People swear like these wrestlers love like winning every match. Like that they have to win or they get mad. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they forget that this is not combat sports. That this is not, you know, MMA, boxing, kickboxing or whatever. This is a soap opera, and it's more about the story than it is about the win-loss record. How many times haven't we seen a good guy win the match, but the bad guy whoops the good guy at the end of the match to make the guy look like $1 million? You know, it's all about pushing the narrative forward. It's not always about, you know, oh man, this guy hasn't won, so he should go to AEW because AEW is gonna treat him better, and you know, or back in the day,
it has to be a winner, it has to be a loser, bro.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter, bro. Because I remember back then too. Oh, I know TNA would use this guy better. That used to happen back in the day with TNA as well. Oh, I know TNA would use this. Look at this guy in TNA. Well, maybe TNA wanted those guys to freaking win and look like $1 million by just winning rather than doing a good story because they didn't have nothing else going for them. You're just lying, not talking facts. People who win the world championship is the top guy. All right, Tristan, at this point, you're just trying to argue because you're not even adding facts.
Yeah, he's trolling because we are adding facts. We're literally, we came up with like 4, 5, 6,
scenarios.
7 different scenarios.
Yeah.
Right? And he hasn't come up with one scenario. All he does is keep repeating the same bullshit he's saying.
Okay. No. Hold on. If you're champion, he is the top guy, right? So explain to me why a guy like Undertaker, who has gone into WrestleMania as champion, I think less than like one time, and he's won the belt at Mania like one time. How many main events does Undertaker have at WrestleMania? Like, at least a handful, bro. Let me see. How many main events at WrestleMania?
I don't think Undertaker's ever main event.
Yeah, he did, bro. When I went to Orlando against Roman, when he fought Shawn Michaels, I think.
Was that a main event?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Main event matches at WrestleMania 13, WrestleMania XXIV, XXVI. So he's main evented 1, 2, 3, 4, which is what I'll say, about a handful of them. He's main evented 4 WrestleManias, and I'm pretty sure at those WrestleManias he wasn't a champion in. I'd be shocked if he was a champion at those. Yeah, he won the world title against Batista, but I don't know if that was a main event or not. But his character was a bigger main event than the belt the years that he main evented. And that's the point I'm trying to make. It's a case-by-case scenario. They're not just going to put anybody in the main event over the belt, but in some cases like John Cena, Undertaker, those guys won the main event status over having the belt. What up, dude? How's it going, bro?
The first time Rock and Cena fought was no belt.
Yeah, wait, what? It was, wasn't it? And The Rock won. Yeah,
no, the first time they fought, it was no belt.
Yeah, that was when I went to the one in Miami.
Yeah.
The once in a lifetime match. Oh yeah, which CM Punk complained about that because he was fighting Chris Jericho for the belt.
Yep.
All right, exactly my point. And your point is you don't need to have the title to have a worth case in point. Undertaker, Jake never won the title. Was iconic. Exactly. No, to be the guy, Mark. What I'm saying is to be the guy. To be the guy. You know, to be the face, bro. The face of WrestleMania is like, obviously Undertaker.
Like be the face of the company, the head guy of the company. We're saying you don't always need the belt to be that guy.
Come on, bro. Stone Cold was the guy without having the belt so many different times. I'm just a fraud, dude. I'm going out of my way by googling.
Yes, he has to be trolling because
he's trolling.
Because we're actually like legitimate, like giving in, but he's not saying anything for us to respond to.
At all. How old are you, Tristan? I always forget your age, but I know that when this is what Tristan does, bro. When Tristan doesn't agree with us, he gets mad and he just repeats himself and doesn't add anything to the conversation, which is kind of sucky, bro. Because we're trying to have a fluid conversation and exchange. I'm here Googling stuff for you, bro. I'm giving you facts of Undertaker, John Cena, different scenarios of The Rock and things like that. Shawn Michaels too. I agree with you. I was backing you up by mentioning those Jake never won a title. And remember, exactly, Mark. No, I'm not against you, Mark. I know you're agreeing with me and you're adding to the conversation. It's Tristan who's trying to create this debate, which to me, there's no argument here. To me, I'm just kind of replying to him and giving him certain examples to kind of get through to him. But obviously, there's no getting through to him. People were saying that Naomi and Sasha are returning. Who do you think is replacing for the women's tag titles? I think that they will return sooner or later. I'm not sure at what point they're going to return, but I know that with Triple H in charge, I'm sure they're on their way back. Yeah, like Mr. WrestleMania. How many times did Shawn Michaels actually go into WrestleMania as champion? Please. And they still called him Mr. WrestleMania. It was just about showing up and showing out and putting on a phenomenal performance. And how many times didn't Undertaker and Shawn Michaels fought at WrestleMania twice, and they overshadowed the belt every year they fought? Like, come on, dude. Like, look at a perfect example to mention is a guy like Sami Zayn, who his contract was expiring and people were talking about like hopefully he goes to AEW or goes wherever else, and he literally did an interview and he's saying, yo, I'm having the time of my life. They give me creative freedom.
I think Stone Cold's retirement match versus The Rock, the third time they fought in WrestleMania, was no belt.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, they definitely didn't fight for the title every time, for sure. For sure they didn't. They did main event. Rey Mysterio is what got me into wrestling. He barely won world titles that meant anything. They were all kind of lackluster reigns. Yeah, they were lackluster reigns. Unfortunately for Rey Mysterio, they were kind of like, he was kind of like a paper champion, especially when Eddie died. They were using him as like the next token Hispanic or whatever. But, you know, Rey Mysterio is one of the greats. Whether his reigns were significant or not, he was still a significant character and always had good storylines from time to time. Here's another one that people belt. He main event at WrestleMania. Michael Cole. There was no belt involved. Oh God, Michael Cole. Some people think all these wrestlers need to be in the main event to be happy. Yeah, so like Dolph Ziggler was making a point as well, like Sami Zayn. He was talking about how he sees not like Sami Zayn. He was talking about just being happy with WWE like Sami Zayn, but he was explaining that his side of the story is that Dolph Ziggler sees doing the WWE as like a gig, as like a job. He just goes in, he does his best, and he knows what he's capable of, but you know, he just gets in, gets his bread, and he goes about his business. He's one of their most reliable guys to stick in anywhere they need him. That's why it's a world championship. It's the top title of the company, aka that makes you the top guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's trolling on.
I guess to each his own. To each his own. But look, I love Booker T. To me, Booker T is one of the greatest of all time. Definitely, if you want to get racial and talk about ethnicities and things like that, to me, he's probably the best, like, pure black champion ever. I feel like he should be the poster child for just someone that came out of WCW, who came from nothing, who came from the tag team division and became a world-class champion and just a great character with King Booker and stuff. I love Booker T endlessly, and when he was champion, nobody saw him as the top guy. So, just another fact to your fiction. You know, Booker T, as much as I love him, I never saw him as the poster child for WWE, ever. And if you saw Booker T as the poster child for WWE, you're a liar. Because at that point in time, The Rock was there making him look like a fool, even when he was champion. They always make Undertaker the main event. It's not the last match because they say Undertaker's match is the co-main event. Yeah, they would say that Undertaker's match was the co-main event for sure. But sometimes they would put him in the main event, which he did it, like I said, like 4 times it showed. Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania because he competed at the most Manias. I don't know if that's true. Who you got winning, Sheamus or Ziggler? What, like in a 1v1? In a 1v1 in real life, I would probably say freaking Sheamus, bro. Sheamus is a monster. The Celtic Warrior, he's the best champion. He's the best guy that has come out of Ireland. The best Irish champion ever in the history of pro wrestling is Sheamus. If my GOAT never was seen as a world champ, I didn't stop watching. It's why I don't say the world champion makes you the guy. Of course. Mr. Royal Rumble is Stone Cold. He's won it, what, like twice?
I think 3 times.
3 times? 3? Yeah, he did win it 3 times. You're right. I was just about to say
him and somebody else were the only people in history, I think, to win it like 2 or 3 times or some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think Shawn Michaels holds the record for of being the only person to win it at the number 1 spot.
Nah, Ray did it too.
Ray did it too?
Yeah, in Miami. Most Royal Rumble victories. Let's see. Stone Cold holds the record with 3.
Who?
Stone Cold holds the record with 3. He's the only one. And then guess who's tied for number 2? Well, I'm not going to tell you to guess because there's a bunch of them. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, Randy Orton, Edge, and Brock Lesnar have all won the match twice. That's cool. The Rock versus Booker T match for the WCW title on Raw in 2001 was a great match. Damn, Jason, that's a random match to bring up. I didn't even ever think about that. I don't even remember. Well, is that the one that they're fighting in like the grocery store? Building up to it? We need Bray Wyatt back. But how would they make it to where it would make sense for him to return? He could return at any point.
The new leader of Judgment Day.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh my God. If they do that shit, I would love it.
He fits in perfect already.
Mm-hmm. 100%. You're right. It wasn't the last match, but they said it was a co-main event. Stone Cold and Rock last match. Yeah. I'm watching Raw still. I just seen Gable do a diving headbutt. They're also in Canada. Was that a sneaky Easter egg? Yeah, they did a couple Easter eggs, just like Damian Priest tonight did the Unprettier, which is Christian's finisher. He did Christian's finisher to Edge tonight. I thought that was really nice. Omega's the guy in AEW and he's not the champion? Exactly, Straight Edge. Everybody knows Omega's the guy there, bro. He ain't the champ. They put him in the trios tournament, like to kind of put him there, but he's the guy. He's the guy. I love that build up. I did mention they were in the grocery store. Yeah, I love that grocery store build up. That shit was amazing.
Who do you got? What way do you think their AEW is gonna go? Moxley or Punk?
Punk.
You think Punk's gonna win it?
Yeah. I'm thinking
he's kind of going into this shit as a heel.
A little bit, yeah. As like a cocky son of a gun. But they're gonna be in Chicago, so he's not gonna be. Oh no, because the title match that match is Wednesday. But you know that not the rumors, but the hype for the pay-per-view is still that he's defending his belt against Moxley. So something's gonna happen on Wednesday that's gonna prevent them from fighting.
For the Undisputed, you know what's funny is this is the second time in his career where this shit happens. Remember when him and John Cena were WWE champions?
Yeah, it was when he walked out of Money in the Bank, and then John Cena won the belt in that tournament, and then CM Punk came back.
The same shit with Moxley.
Yeah, he's gonna win it, but I think this is all to build up MJF. I got a feeling that MJF is gonna come out, bro, at the end of the pay-per-view. As I said it, Byron just said it. Byron just said, I think MJF returns. Yeah, I think all this is for CM Punk to feud with MJF for the belt. That's what I think. Who do you want to see return at the Rumble? Easy. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Edge won to Royal Rumbles. I mentioned it. Since we're talking about random matches, I'll hype a random pay-per-view. Taboo Tuesday 2004. Ric Flair versus Orton was the main event. Oh, shit. Never even... I mean, I've heard of the pay-per-view. I just never seen it.
I think Bray should make his debut at Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. It'll be random as hell to get him at Clash at the Castle if he was there. I think Bray coming out of the Rumble would be crazy. Have him come out of the Rumble and win? Or would you have Cody Rhodes come out of the Rumble and win?
I don't know.
That's a tough one, right?
No, you can't do that, bro, because you're now taking the risk of like the crowd turning on you.
If Bray comes back and Cody's the one that wins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have like a Batista situation.
100%. You're right. Damn, that's crazy though. So fuck it, give it to Bray and have Cody look like the the top guy that almost won, but he came up just a little short and he's struggling to get the title match at Mania. He gets the title match like a month before the pay-per-view. I don't know.
One thing that I miss that I wish Triple H brought back are like matches with stipulations. Like like the Brock versus Roman, the last man standing match. We don't get those anymore.
No, we don't really get those.
Like the Iron matches and all that shit.
Yeah.
Iron Man matches.
Nah, I like the 2 out of 3 as well.
Like damn, like I really miss all those shits. The 60 fucking minutes match. Yeah. I think that's Iron Man, right?
Yeah, that's an Iron Man match. Yeah. I like 2 out of 3 falls. I was gonna say one and I freaking forgot, bro.
We don't get a lot of triple threats.
Yeah, we don't get too many triple threat main events anymore.
And when's the last time you saw a handicap match?
I
can't even think of the last time. I think that's Attitude Era shit.
No, we did have one fairly recently. I just don't remember when right now. I'm trying to think, but I can't remember. I was gonna tell you something, dude, and I freaking forgot what to tell. I was gonna tell you something. Jesus. Oh, that what I would. You know what I want back? I don't know if you'll laugh. I want King of the Ring pay-per-view back.
Damn, you like that pay-per-view?
Yeah, I like that. I like the King of the Ring pay-per-view. I don't like when they do it like on Raw or SmackDown. I like for it to be a pay-per-view. I like for them to start like the giant tournament on the shows and then lead into the pay-per-view to do those matches.
I don't know. I feel like that shit really didn't mean anything.
The King of the Ring?
Yeah.
You feel like the Money in the Bank kind of took that spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, because King of the Ring was always supposed to be who next man up. I guess. Cody versus Drew needs to happen. Yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. Oh yeah, the Cyber Sunday pay-per-views were awesome.
Oh, those were good.
Those were really good, yeah. Oh my god, I just remembered. Where the hell has Omos been? Oh yeah, Omos versus MVP versus Omos and MVP versus Lashley. That was a handicap match, yeah. Yeah, King of the Ring is awesome. No Mercy's cool too. I wish they brought back No Mercy. I like Backlash. I don't like that they call it WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah.
Like my favorite pay-per-view titles is definitely like Judgment Day, Backlash, No Mercy. Those were some of my favorite pay-per-view titles. Omos beat up 2 jobbers last week. Yeah, but he didn't come out this week, right? I don't know. It kind of feels like they don't know what to do with him, I guess. Sorry, y'all. Triple H says we don't book giants over here, brother.
Oh, Armageddon. Oh,
Yeah.
straight edge. Oh, hell yeah.
Armageddon
I
was
loved
good.
Armageddon.
Yeah, me too. Armageddon was a dope title too. I mean, a dope pay-per-view.
But those pay-per-views are always the best, bro.
Bad Blood is solid too, yeah. Bad Blood is solid. Remember when Hell in the Cell was used as a feud ending? Yeah, I like steel cage matches better than Hell in the Cell, and I hate steel cage matches where the person comes out through the door. I like when they climb over better. You're watching the Edge A&E doc? Nice, Byron. What up, Wrestle King? New Year's Revolution? Now they're calling it Day 1 or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah. I think this year was the first time, right, that they had Day 1.
Yeah, this year. You love the new Saints Row game? I gotta jump into it. I've just been having a blast talking here. I haven't really started it up. I want to see the beginning part of it as well. Yeah, no, there's just so many possibilities with Triple H now. He likes all that old stuff too, so. Oh, Fully Loaded was pretty good too. Fully Loaded. Yeah, that's the era that I grew up on, bro. Anything from that era, I'm gonna freaking enjoy. I think Last Man Standing, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage should be used as feud ending. That'll be good. Good Raw tonight. Yeah, Raw was really good. I hate the title, honestly. Day 1 is one of the worst titles for a pay-per-view name. Well, I think it was cool because it was Day 1, literally. 24/7 title's pointless. I thought it was dope for R-Truth, but yeah, I do see what you're saying. Guys, if we have any new viewers...
Basically the hardcore title.
It is. I would like for them to bring back the hardcore title. Guys, if we have any new viewers, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go. Let me see what I was gonna... Let me see let me look at the calendar. There's no point in calling the pay-per-view Day 1 if it's not gonna be Day 1, right? You wanna laugh? Day 1 is on a Day 1. January 1st is on a Sunday this year. So they could do it.
Well, yeah, but they usually do it on Saturdays now.
Yeah, that's true too. So what are they gonna call it if they do it on Saturday? Nah, they'll do it on a Sunday just for the Day 1 slogan. Oh man, Great Balls of Fire I thought was the worst name ever. Oh man, I remember when I heard that, and it's such a shame because that was Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, which that match was disappointing too. But oh man, that was just a horrible. That's worse than Day 1 in my opinion. Have you heard of Andrew Tate? I've heard of him recently because of the headlines he's made, but I really didn't know who the guy was till I heard him like get into it and get banned or whatever. And
say, No Way Out was a good one.
No Way Out is a good one. I like No Way Out. I'd rather them call the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I would have rather them call that pay-per-view No Way Out. They used to call it No Way Out, but they changed it to Elimination Chamber. The band that did the Benoit theme pay-per-view, doing the which one for Clash at the Castle? Man, the Great Balls of Fire, that was just terrible. Oh, Stomp the Ground too. Stomping Grounds? Yeah, Stomping Grounds. That was a terrible, atrocious name as well. Oh man, I yeah. The Stomping Grounds and Great Balls of Fire are probably the worst ones that I've ever. It's called Run. Nice. You're talking to Elham. What did Elham say? Samoa Joe, what happened to him? Oh yeah, he's in AEW and he's the ROH champ, the TV champ. But it's so funny, dawg. Another wasted Roadblock was pretty bad too. Yeah. People talk about, oh, this person should go to AEW, that person should go to AEW. Samoa Joe, even though he's been presented pretty solid when he has been presented, I feel like I wish. It sucks, man, because Triple H knew how to use Samoa Joe, man. Samoa Joe just couldn't stay healthy on the main roster. They were going to give him a big push and he got hurt. Battleground was kind of pointless because they had Survivor Series already. But Battleground had potential, but yeah, it was garbage because Survivor Series already existed. Oh, man, I got one for y'all. Bragging rights. Oh my God, that one was stupid. Battleground and Bragging Rights are two pay-per-views that were almost the same as Survivor Series.
You know what? What one I don't like? TLC.
Oh yeah, I don't like the name of that either. I like those matches, but I don't like that pay-per-view because not that many of them have TLC anyways. Yeah, Fatal 4-Way, 2010. I remember that one too. That shit was stupid as hell. You know what's the name of a pay-per-view that I really loved? Clash of Champions. Every title had to be on the line that night. I really like that pay-per-view. Yeah, I would have wanted Samoa Joe to stay even as a commentator. Yeah, Fatal 4 was really bad, bro. Payback, that's kind of like Backlash. Payback wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's one of the cheaper ones. I went to Battleground as your first pay-per-view, so I can't bash it. No, we're not bashing the show was probably solid, but I'm talking about the name. Pay-per-view Starcade. Oh, you love that pay-per-view Clash of what is it? Clash of Champions? Yeah, and then Starcade. Yeah, Starcade is a dope name.
That Starcade was WCW.
Yeah, it was. I like Clash of Champions though. That was WWE.
The most famous one I know from WCW is Halloween Havoc.
Oh, Halloween Havoc. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say Bash at the Beach.
Oh, and Bash at the Beach is another big one too.
I wish WWE did Bash at the Beach. With all the money they have, I don't know why they don't try to do one of those outdoor pay-per-views. That would be dope.
They should do a one night only NWO sold out.
Oh man, that'll be amazing. Damn, but Skaha's already gone. They could still do it though. It's like naming a pay-per-view exhibition. I know, bro. Which is the worst pay-per-view in your opinion? Well, I can't remember like from top to bottom the match card, but if you're talking about names, Great Balls of Fire is probably the worst one. Over the Limit, that's okay. I mean, it's not cool. Like, it's all right. I think it was an all right name. I don't want to.
What about that all women's pay-per-view Revolution? Or
oh man, stop, Brian White, bro.
They never did it again, bro.
Brian, dog, I hate you, dog. You really want to get me in.
That's how you know that shit was horrible.
Oh man, I want to do an unboxing, guys, and I didn't want to show it to you till now, but my wife, like, I got so mad at her. She's like, "Oh, why are you looking at me, Erica, Brian?" So I'm gonna put this back how it came in. So I ordered these 2 DVDs from Best Buy, and look, I'm gonna show you guys. It came like this, bro. Let me look at how my wife opened it like this, guys. She literally just ripped it open. She Hulk smashed that shit. And it was because the box came with a hole, right? It came with like a hole, and she just put her hand and ripped it out. And I was washing dishes when it came in.
Oh, is that Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, I got a Drew McIntyre DVD. I'll show it to you now. So she opened it up, right? And she just ripped it, and I'm there washing dishes, and I was like, oh my God, I wanted to take a picture of it because they delivered it. They delivered it with the postal office, and I guess they kind of crushed it. Now, Brian and I used to work in a warehouse. We know what goes down with these packages. We know how they're treated because we were one of the people that treated it. And let's just say that these envelopes are tossed around like garbage. And rest assured, The freaking Drew Now, guys, this is me that I'm a collector, and the Drew McIntyre one has a stab, which you can't really see because my camera blurs it out, but it has like a stab in the back, bro. Where the disc goes, there's like a stab, and it has like a little tear. It really pissed me off. I mean, I got it for $10, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's a best of Drew McIntyre DVD. It says the best of Drew McIntyre. I hope they have like a compilation of like his NXT stuff. And it's done by Warner Brothers. It's approximately an hour and 80 minutes, so it's not that long. But it's called Drew McIntyre, the best of WWE Scottish Warrior. I mean, I saw most of his main roster stuff, but I wanted to see if they had some NXT stuff like compiled here. Because I know I could look for it on the WWE Network, but I just thought it was cool to go with the autograph that I have from him now. And then I reclaimed my Randy Orton documentary, which I like that one, but I don't think it has the matches. And then for $10, this was a steal deal. This is why I got this one, because this was a crazy deal. For $10, they had the Batista one, which is really, really good. The John Cena Experience, which is okay. And then they got the Chris Jericho one, which I've never seen. And then the Randy Orton one, which is really good. So I wanted to get these because I do want to buy the A&E ones. I'm going to get the A&E ones when they release them. They got 2 of them available right now, 2 volumes out. But I want to do an unboxing to see if they have artwork and stuff. WWE, unfortunately, doesn't really do Blu-rays anymore. Where do you get all these DVDs for so cheap? Well, no, that one is actually standard price at Best Buy, $10. And I saw Amazon. If you really want to get into like buying some wrestling stuff like for DVDs, you got to be careful because some of the stuff that are like out of stock, like out of print, they kind of go for a steep price, which I freaking kind of regret because when I sold my collection, I had some nice ass stuff that, Brian had gifted me. My boy Jamar had gifted me. I had bought at some of the wrestling events I had gone to, and I got some pretty good money for it, but not the kind of money that they're worth now since they're out of print. Oh yeah, you mentioned Logan Paul. No, Logan Paul is fantastic, bro. I never thought I would say that, but yeah, Invasion was a good pay-per-view. I do like Invasion. But yeah, I know sorry, Elham, you've mentioned Logan Paul a couple times and I haven't really acknowledged it because we've been. But yeah, Logan Paul, man, he picked up wrestling pretty quick and he's athletic and shit. He was able to do some nice stunts, so Logan Paul's definitely, he has my respect. Shit. I would have never in a million years thought I'd say Logan Paul is a good WWE wrestler or star or whatever. I think Triple H smart for letting NXT UK talent, if not using them. Yeah, they're going to do the NXT Europe, which is a much better way to do it. Gonna head out. Love getting off of work to watch your streams. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. Take care, Mark. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I'll catch you on the next one, bro. Not your bad, Elham. If you whenever I don't see a comment, you guys are more than welcome to copy it. Just don't spam it. But yeah, you're more than welcome to copy it. But yeah, I want to check out I don't know. It says back here. Look, let me see. I'll read you the Drew McIntyre shit. What it says. 3, 2, 1 Claymore. Possessing immense power, undeniable skill, and the respect of the WWE Universe, Drew McIntyre climbed to the top of the WWE and rechristened it the Claymore Country. Now you can relive the most exciting matches of one of WWE's most resilient superstars with Drew McIntyre, the best of WWE Scottish Warrior. From starting as WWE's chosen one, thriving in NXT, to main eventing WrestleMania. This DVD set covers McIntyre's roller coaster ride throughout sports entertainment. This collection highlights Drew McIntyre's greatness, featuring matches against Undertaker, which I saw that one. That's the one that he had with Undertaker on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, Goldberg, and more. So, pretty cool set, man. Hopefully they show a couple of the NXT gems.
Yeah, I know he fought the Undertaker.
Yeah, he fought the Undertaker on a random SmackDown show when he first started. I'm telling you, bro, I remember his career before leaving when he was the chosen one and he had the Intercontinental belt. I remember going to one of the house shows in Miami and he had the belt and he did a fatal 4-way that night. I've always liked him. I've always really liked him. I felt like WWE is the one that kind of dropped the ball with him, but I guess it's because he never really got big and he kind of looked the same. I don't know. I really don't know, because he's always had the skill. He had the ability and stuff. I mean, when he left and he went on his own, his promos did improve tremendously. Like, he was way more intense. He got bigger. He became more menacing. And obviously in TNA was probably his ultimate stop right before WWE realizing, hey, we got to get this guy. So I'm really glad that they brought him back. The one that I've been feeling kind of sorry for, that they're kind of lost with, is Jinder Mahal. I'll see what Triple H does with him, because Triple H likes Jinder Mahal. He's actually a Triple H guy. He had a match with Kurt Angle. Yeah, I think it was probably more recently, though, when Kurt Angle was old. I don't remember what match it was, honestly. I know he didn't have a match with Kurt Angle when he was young, because Kurt Angle, when Drew McIntyre was young, Kurt Angle was still in TNA, bro. So it had to have been one of the more recent matches. Like Triple H bring back a guy that's in 2K22. So, oh, like Dexter Lumis. Oh, Tyler Bate. What happened?
In the Kurt Angle documentary, when he went to TNA, they treated that shit like the dark years. They're like, oh yeah, and then shit just spiraled and he went downhill and then left to TNA. Like if he was throwing his career away. And I never saw him in TNA. I've seen highlights and I'm like, it's incredible. And then from what I hear from you and other people, a lot of his best matches were in TNA.
Yeah, no. In TNA, he was a phenom, bro. He had really crazy moments.
And it's funny that the documentary treats it like oh yeah, those were like the years where they treated it like if he was like Jeff Hardy in TNA, like all drunk all the time and like put on like horrible matches.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Well, I've never heard any behind the scenes stuff. But the only thing I really heard that went with Kurt Angle to TNA was that he was still doing drugs when he went there.
No, yeah, I know he was doing drugs and shit, but I'm talking about just like talent, like
what he did promos and matches. Nah, I think promos and matches he was still top tier, bro. He was doing flips from the top of the cages, all sorts of great matches with AJ Styles. I really liked Kurt Angle in TNA. I think Kurt Angle had, those were the dark years for us WWE fans that didn't see it all, but it wasn't the dark years for his career, because he's a TNA Hall of Famer. For good reason, too. Is it just me, Lex, or they didn't really put as much time into my GM 2K22? Yeah, it feels rushed and kind of shallow for sure. I think that was his retirement match. No, his retirement match was against Baron Corbin. Jinder was awesome top heel. I liked him as a top heel too. Perk Angle in TNA was divine. Long live Main Event Mafia. Yeah, Main Event Mafia was the shit. Brock refused to face him, so he lost the title. When was this? Welcome to the channel, Emmanuel. Thank you for subscribing. How's it going? Is it just me, Lex, or I already saw that. What's up, Lex? Did you hear about Kurt Angle back with WWE? I saw he's coming back next Monday, bro. I hope they give him something to work with. I miss Kurt Angle, and it's funny, bro, because before that coming out on TV, I was texting Brian today, and I was like, man, I wish they brought back Kurt Angle. Do you think WWE 2K23 reveal is coming at Clash of the Castle? Hell no, bro. We ain't getting 2K23 news till 2K23. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, bro. Not putting Kurt Angle in 2K22 is probably one of the most, like, you want to hear me rant or bash the game? That's one of the things I'll bash about that. It didn't have Kurt Angle. Really wish they had Kurt Angle there. I hate all the Kurt Angles I've downloaded.
Weird shit.
Yeah, they just, with the pandemic, he got released and they didn't have the rights to him and they didn't sign him to put him in the game. And it sucks because he could have been in the game. He was in the company when they first started working on it. I don't know, man. Hopefully with this A&E documentary, more and more people watch it, and I'm certainly going to watch it, but I'm saying like more and more people watch it and they appreciate Kurt Angle like the way that I see him as a big deal. I hope Pittsburgh gives him a freaking crazy reaction next week. Did you catch Big E on Ryan's hand? He's still got ways till he's being close to being allowed back. Yeah, no, I didn't see that, but I saw other interviews that he's done and I read up on him. I know he's not going to get reevaluated till like March of next year. I know he might not even come back when they reevaluate him. If he's not ready to compete, I mean, if he's not cleared to compete, he's considering retiring. Kind of bothers me because he could have been in the Rey Mysterio showcase, but due to the fact that they didn't have the license and sign him, yeah, for sure. I wonder if they have Kurt Angle help out Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. That could be dope. I like Adam Pearce though. I wouldn't want him to take Adam Pearce's job, but I would like Kurt Angle's like a manager, bro. I want them to bring back the legacy of having a manager around, like Paul Heyman with Tribal Chief. What they were trying to do with Maximum Male Model Agency. Well, you know, Max Dupree or whatever. I feel like it's always funner when you have a manager involved. What do you think about Edge retiring next year? He's been on a run of a lifetime, man. All his matches that he's put on at the pay-per-views have been really fun to watch, honestly. I think still, since he's been back, his best feud and his best matches have been against Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Randy Orton and Edge stuff, whew, that was I gotta relive those matches at some point because they were really, really good. Even during the pandemic, they made that shit interesting. That's one thing that AEW has over WWE, the managers, 100%. I'll give them that. They really got, not only do they have good managers, but they utilize them in a cool way. Vince hated managers? I don't think that he hated managers. That's a stretch.
Nah, at all. I don't think so.
Come on, Straight Edge. That's a stretch. He might not want to use them as often now in today's current television programming.
Yeah,
but
back in the day, he's the one that hired all these people like Paul Bear and all these fucking people.
Yeah, hold on. Jimmy Hart, the voice of the South or whatever. Bobby the Brain Heenan. It was reported he did. Who reported it though? Why would? Come on, hate is such a strong word. He made so many top tier talent with managers. I mean, Paul Heyman was come on. I don't think he hated managers, bro. People have a way of bending words. Come on, that's like believing that CM Punk is unhappy in AEW and he almost walked out on AEW last week. Are you gonna believe that based on the reports? That's bogus, bro. Come on now, bro. Don't get caught getting lost in the sauce with those little reports now. Because you know that ain't true. Let's just be real. Let's call it what it is. False reporting. Now, did he dislike them now? Well, because maybe he disliked them now more than he did back then. But to say that he hates or hated managers... He probably hates managers in today's programming, but he made MVP Lashley's manager. No, man. They don't need to have Kurt Angle take Pierce's job. They could have Kurt Angle help out Adam Pearce on Monday night. Yeah, but helping him out is kind of like leading into a feud with him, and then ultimately they'll split up. I'd rather just have Kurt Angle manage a team, bro. Bro, why doesn't Kurt Angle just...
He can be the coach of Alpha Academy.
Yeah, he could be the coach of Alpha Academy, or he could bring in Gable Steveson. Say that that's his nephew instead of his son. So my son got injured and he never came back. This is my nephew, Gable. Gable Steveson. And then Chad Gable jumps in and says, no, I'm his real nephew. Oh, shit. Edge said... in his doc, he wanted to retire on his own terms. Oh, yeah. That's something that he said in real life and random interviews as well.
Who?
Edge, that he wanted to retire on his own shit.
Oh. So who do you think is going to retire him? Who's he going to try to put over?
It would be cool to see him put over somebody, but if somebody's going to retire him, I would love for it to be like John Cena since they were like arch nemesis. But we're not going to get that. Yeah, they were pretty good rivals. Or how about Matt Hardy? Have Matt Hardy come back for the final feud.
No, but he should put over somebody young like Theory or something.
Somebody young. Karrion Kross. That'll be cool. Karrion Kross comes out and puts the little timepiece on the floor and says, "Tick tock, your time is coming, Edge." That'll be cool, actually. He let go of Ellering when AOP needed him. Remember, though, he did a lot of weird shit with people that he called up from NXT. It doesn't mean that they were the right call, but to say that he absolutely hated managers when he put on managers on the map is just... Did you hear that Gallows and Anderson might come back to WWE? I didn't hear about that, but I would believe it. Those were two guys that were also awesome under Triple H. Bro, I think that it's oh, my shit lagged. What the hell? Oh, there, it's good. I think that it's a fair play right now. I think anybody could come back to WWE right now. I think off to bed, bro. It was a nice conversation. Have a good rest of your stream. Peace out, KQ. Yeah, I'm looking. We've been live for 2 hours and a half. I'm gonna get into some Saints Row now, guys. I think we've talked up a good storm. I think it's time to check out this Saints Row, which just came out tonight. I'm gonna stream it again tomorrow. I want to see what it's all about. Hopefully, I don't get copywritten. But let's just check it out. Create the character, hang out, and see like the first mission, and then tomorrow we'll jump back into it. So I'm gonna erase the title. It says Johnny Gargano's back. I'm gonna put Saints Row 2022 gameplay debut. Boom. Let's give it a second for the thumbnail to change. Bet I really want to see the gameplay. I might want to get it. Nice. What if Triple H brings back AOP and has Kurt Angle be their manager? Authors of Pain were cool, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. I would like Kurt to do something more along, like, you know, the intensity, integrity, intelligence shit, like with Chad Gable and stuff.
Hey, did you see this shit?
What's up?
You might have sent it to me. I don't know, maybe.
Alright,
Marvel Studios may reportedly regain the theatrical distribution rights to the Hulk from Universal Pictures in June 2023.
Oh, no. Wow. So Hulk might go back.
Yeah.
Nice.
People already posting pictures of World War Hulk.
Yeah, because Mark Ruffalo wants that shit. He says he's ready.
Yeah. So I wonder what's happening in June 2023 for
Contract?
Universal to lose the rights.
Well, it could be that they haven't used them.
So does that mean they're gonna close the right?
Nah. I think they own that's a forever deal. I think it's just they'll lose the movie rights. Which is what I had told you that I found weird about that like Daredevil and all these other characters, when the movies didn't get made, they lost the rights to it because of the deal they didn't honor. So I don't know, we'll see. Is a new Saints Row game on PS4? Yeah, it's on all consoles. Well, except the Switch. Alright guys, it's time to get into some gaming. Let's see what's up. Let me put the gaming over here. I'm gonna put the game. If you guys want the game sound louder, just let me know. All right. We're gonna load into the first cutscene of Saints Row. I'm gonna record it and upload this as a video, actually. Little Saints Rolio. I'm gonna have to mute the sound every once in a while because of the copyrights. You already know in Saints Row they put a lot of the good music, so. Here we go. First time jumping into Saints Row. I'm really excited to check it out despite some of the less favorable reviews. Let's see what it has to offer.
It says average.
Average.
Rodney likes average.
Average at best. Let's see what they got for us, y'all. Volition is back at it again. I heard that this is one of the worst optimized games on the next generation. Little Saints Row logo for the autosave. Okay. Scroll down. Well, I'm going to mute it because I don't know if that song is copyrighted, guys. Sorry. Accept. All right, so 1080p ultra quality. That's funny, bro. That shit looks more crispy when you put 4K. That's why I hate. It has like a blurry feel, though. I think I might be stuck having to play it in 4K because it has a blurry feel when you put like 1440. Because computer monitors, when they're not the right size, high quality, high, whatever. I'll just do 1440 for now.
What's your monitor?
4K.
And you put it at 1440?
Yeah, and it looks the letters don't look
Yeah, it
as
looks
sharp.
horrible. I tried doing that shit with mine shit, putting it at 1080p, and I'm like, what the fuck?
But it says adjust until the entire image is just visible against the background. It'll be kind of dark for you guys, but it says adjust until the entire image. All right. All right. Co-op campaign. Ba-da-da-da. Let me see if I could take the copyrighted music off. Mute music on. Oh, license music off. There you go. Turns on or off. Oh, okay. Awesome. So I could have the music on, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Let's see what's going on, y'all. We're finally going to jump in. You're self-made, ready to face the world defaults. Is this the challenge? Oh, man. You like to take it easy, but you're not afraid to mix it up. Tourist, you're not looking for trouble. You're just here to enjoy scenery and the story. Oh, this is the difficulty. I'm just going to put entrepreneur. This is the difficulty setting, basically. All right. The moment we've been waiting for, ladies and gents. At least it looks really colorful. But I could already tell by like the detail and atmosphere that it's definitely more like a optimized last gen experience. Okay. And look at this strong ass dude looking like John Cena.
The right party.
This is a celebration for the saints, is it not?
Hmm.
Business with Marshall is less lucrative than it used to be. I was hoping your bosses would be interested in a new partnership.
What up, Czar? How's it going, bro? Do you think they'll put Edge's evil theme? I would love for it to be there. Oh, look at the little selfie at the bar. You're a little kitty. Maybe I want to switch to 14 to the 4K stuff. Let me see if I could switch. Oh no, I can't. Not right now.
They're in there. I'd knock if I were you.
Nerd looks too young to be in there.
Hello? It's Antonio Espina. Look, I know that we don't have the best history, but I was thinking, hoping, really, that we could work something out.
Is he meeting us right now? Is that what this is? Uh-oh, gotta make somebody from scratch. Alright, I'll make myself a big dude. This is gonna take a little bit. Let me move the chat over here, y'all. Make Roman? Man, I'm not that obsessed with Roman, even though that's not a bad idea. How funny, you can make your groin size. How do you... Oh, this is for the... I guess he looks a little better now. I love that On This Day theme, but that song is outdated. I hear you, bro. Put veins to pop out and everything. How funny. Let's see what hair we give him. My character needs to look cool. We'll see, man. I'm gonna give him my real life haircut. This one right here. Make Stone Cold. I know I should make a WWE wrestler, but no. Doing that would take way too much time, bro. Looking like Rick James. They got some cool haircuts here. All right, Jackson, I'll see you on the next one, Brody. At least they got some good variety for the haircut. I'm gonna give him the braids with the picked up hair here. Watch. Which one was it? Sounds good, my boy. I think this one is pretty cool right here. We gotta get him some facial hair. I always give my guy in every game like a big beard to kind of cover the face. Since I don't really spend a lot of time morphing the face. It's pretty good. Bro, all the eyebrows are like, they have a heavy arc. Lex, did you a lot of games it took years to fix is now? What? Byron, I don't know what you're saying, my boy. Why did they make all the eyebrows look like evil? Good, Brian. Look at the little chunky cheeks like I have in real life. Crushed peach flavored soda is good. Damn, that shit sounds good. Shush, please. Ew, look at these teeth, how they have them. That's funny. I speak different language, English and Spanish. What up, OG? How's it going, bro? Alright, I think I'm pretty much done with the face. With different piercings. Bro, these piercings, the earrings that they have suck. I probably want you to buy it, that's why.
Time to settle on up.
It's good to be home.
What's going on here today?
I think I'm ready for some action.
I'm ready for whatever today has for.
What should I do first?
When can you start?
Time to hit the dusty trail.
Gonna make some money today.
Right. What's
Make money doing nothing.
Love the tights I randomly got in Rumble versus like Edge and Test Attitude Era tights. Ooh, nice. What do we got here? All right, so I created my person. I don't know why he's wearing these tight ass pants. They're like bootios. I think we're ready to roll. Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you, Jason.
Antonio, glad you came to your senses. Hey, I'm kind of having a party right now, but we'll talk business later. We got a party going on, so I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Fuck the Panteros, fuck the Idols, fuck Marshall. The Saints are here to stay, baby! So, if you know how to shoot a gun, or if you're broke and want to learn how, swing by the church. We'll be waiting for you.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Supposed to have noise cancelling on. It's not working or what?
Why?
Here. You hear it perfectly, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, they just threw me in a hole, started digging a grave on me? The hell? He wearing Trish pants from Raw? He really is. Few months earlier. Uh-oh.
Hello, and welcome to Marshall Defense Industries. We know it wasn't easy getting here. Your journey began with one of the most unforgiving job interviews we could devise. But you did more than just survive a few live fire exercises. You excelled, and in doing so, proved that you were Marshall material. But don't take my word for it. Hear it from the man himself.
Hello, I'm Atticus Marshall, and I wanted to personally welcome you to the Marshall family. Here at MDI, we don't just make a profit. We make the world a better place. So how do we do that? With a little TLC. Technologically advanced weapons, loose morals, and a culture of conflict. Now let's take a step through each of those letters.
Why are you watching that now?
It's the orientation video.
I know what it is. Why are you watching it now?
Well, I mean, we're about to be shot at, so I figured it couldn't hurt to brush up on our healthcare package.
If you weren't paying attention to the briefing, I don't think you'll live long enough for your copay to matter.
So I should be reviewing the life insurance policy.
You know, our job interview has a 5% mortality rate. Statistically, the odds were low that you would die before we hired you, but I allowed myself to be an optimist.
Your parents should have treated you better.
Yours should have treated you worse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, contrary to your colleagues' demeanor, this is no laughing matter. The Nawali already took out one team that was sent to bring him in, and I want as many of us going home as possible. So stick to the plan, work together, and let's grab that son of a bitch and send him to the frontier.
What up, Levi? I just started playing it right now. I just finished creating my character. My guy got buried. Now I gotta do this mission here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Alpha team, go!
First day on the job. Oh, fuck.
Newbie, catch up!
Right. Let's kick some holy shit!
Turrets, take cover!
This is like a little beginning tutorial, I think. The hell is this?
Jesus Christ, it's my first fucking day.
Shit. Anybody left?
Me.
All right, hold on. Let me. I want to adjust the.
I think.
Figures. We have to rendezvous with Bravo team or we're dead. Keep pushing forward. I'll meet you there.
Copy that. Welcome to the daily grind. keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I can't play this with the 4K shit.
Getting a little.
Hold on, I gotta controls or the sensitivities too. Damn, they don't let you move the sensitivity? No walk over, bro? Yo, these fools legit did not put no wall cover. Oh my god.
Shit. That helps. Hey, you! We gotta fight! Fuck.
Better hustle, newbie. Bravo team is ready to move in.
Ain't exactly taking a coffee break here.
The game is meant to be bright. What do you mean? I don't have a problem with the brightness at all. I'm talking about covering the wall. I feel like the sensitivity is way too high on this, bro. I guess I'm gonna try to lower the dead zone. I don't know what the hell that means exactly, but put it to half.
Marshal scum! Oh, bite me.
Alright, I think that's a little better. Yeah, this shit, the movement, something about it is weird. What up, Jamar? I'm trying to adjust the controls because I feel like my guy is moving. I mean, I'm gonna leave this one at like 16. Put this a little higher. I guess let's try it like this for now.
Newbie, you still alive?
You sound like you lost the pool.
Fall in. We'll use this APC for cover.
Rolling shield? Nice.
Nah, I'm delighted you approved. Bailey, make a hole.
Hold on, let me fix the game for you guys because I see it looks a little weird.
Newbie, stay in formation. Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Yeah, y'all fucked with the wrong multinational private military corporation.
Alright. Whoop, restart checkpoint.
Bailey, make a hole.
Roger that.
Now let's go. Through the breach. Go, go, go.
I haven't seen the Prey movie. I know a lot of people have been enjoying it though.
Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Yeah, y'all fucked with the wrong multinational private military corporation. Hey, this may be a weird time to ask, but do we get hazard pay?
You get a performance bonus for outstanding work. if you survive to collect it.
Got it. Just trying to understand the pay structure.
Well, after making those adjustments, I think it runs a little better now with the dead spots and shit.
Bailey, hold up. Marshall, clear the field.
I was gonna ask you usually stay on top of movie reviews? Yeah, I've only been really seeing movies that my nephew want to watch lately. I haven't really watched like a whole lot of.
I'm good with these.
Now that's not. You are damn lucky we don't have time to argue.
But I know I haven't really done movie reviews. I gotta start uploading them again. At least some short videos to catch you guys up on what I've watched.
Take that turret, damn it.
Nah, you're right, Levi. I usually do movie reviews. I just haven't done them.
Stay close if you don't want your face blown off. You better shoot that turret like you shoot off your mouth.
What? How did I?
Bailey, make a hole.
Roger that.
Now let's go. Through the breach. Go, go, go.
Uh-oh.
Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Yeah, y'all fucked with the wrong multinational private military corporation. Hey, this may be a weird time to ask, but do we get hazard pay?
You get a performance bonus for outstanding work.
Did I watch Somerville? What was that?
Just trying to understand the pay structure.
Bailey, hold up. Marshall, clear the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Shit. Woo, take the turret.
I got
You
it.
seen your spark hoppers? I'm fascinated with animals. What do you mean?
We don't have time to argue.
How am I fascinated with animals, fool? The explosions look great in this game, I'll tell you. Wait, what? The APC was destroyed? I guess I'm not playing aggressive enough. I'm playing too laid back.
Yeah, you gotta protect that thing.
No, they're not at all. The explosions look
No,
phenomenal.
you have to protect that machine.
Yeah, I'm just playing too casual right now. I'm not even paying attention.
Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Like, I'm paying attention, but I'm just like, I don't know, enjoying the...
Private military corporation.
looking at everything, you know? Except the objective.
Hey, this may be a weird time to ask, but do we get hazard pay?
You get a performance bonus for outstanding work if you survive to collect it.
Got it. Just trying to understand the pay structure.
Well, what am I supposed to go ahead? Look at how much health that shit's losing, fool. What do these people want me to do?
Bailey, hold up. Marshall, clear the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Damn, this shit is actually hard. Just seeing I love animals. I mean, I like animals, but you said I saw spark hoppers. Are you fascinated with animals? That's why I didn't get it. I didn't get what you were saying.
Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Yeah, y'all fucked with the wrong multinational private military corporation.
If I get too ahead, I'm too ahead. If I'm too back, I'm too back. The health of that shit goes really low, though, bro. That shit's pretty crazy.
Hey, this may be a weird time to ask, but do we get hazard pay?
You get a performance bonus for outstanding work if you survive to collect it.
Got it. Just trying to understand the pay structure.
Yeah, bro, this shit is really a lot. I'm about to get murked again.
Marshall, clear the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bro, this...
I got.
I don't know. Let me see if I can switch guns. This shit's crazy.
Bailey, make a hole.
Roger that.
Now let's go. Through the breach. Go, go, go.
I did hit every TNT, bro. I am. I'm pressing Y immediately as soon as I see it.
Keep it up, team. Let them have it.
Yeah, y'all fucked with the wrong.
Like right now, I'm trying to hit it.
Military corporation. Hey, this may be a weird
See, I
time
pressed
to
it right
ask,
there.
but do we get hazard pay?
You get a performance bonus for outstanding work if you survive to collect it.
Got it. Just trying to understand the pay structure.
That tank is really weak, though.
Bailey, hold up. Marshall, clear the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Shit. Whoa, take the turret.
I got it. Good to see.
But that's not. You are damn lucky we don't have time to argue. You better shoot that turret like you shoot off your mouth.
See? Told you I was good with these.
Just shut up and shoot.
How is he not dying? What the hell was that? Come on, fool.
Chopper, take it out before it cuts him down.
Can't believe they pay me for this.
Driver's hit. Bailey, you all right?
Bailey? Bailey, get your foot off the gas. Whoa, oh, shit!
Shit. All that for this shit to flip upside down. What a bozo.
Gwen? Gwen, can you hear me? Anybody? Shit. Either they're all dead or there's no signal. Reckon I should push on and find the Nawali myself. The things we do for rent.
How did Marshall get this one?
No! Fuck! Fuck! God damn it!
Eliminate the intruder!
At least I don't have to wear a suit.
The Nawali wants them all dead!
Oh, finally. End of the tunnel. Gwen? Hello, do you read me?
Snoopy, you're still alive?
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
The Nawali's hold up in the saloon up ahead. Rendezvous with the rest of us and we can box him in.
In a minute. I'm gonna clear out some goons first.
I gave you an order.
It's on my way. Besides, we don't want them coming up behind us later.
Fine. But next time I give an order, the only words I want to hear are yes and ma'am. Got that?
Yes, ma'am.
Destroy that shit or what?
Take cover!
Guess you assholes are just working stiffs too.
Kill that asshole!
Damn.
Feels good to make an honest living.
Graphics look awesome. Yeah, it looks
Little
good, bro.
C4 should take out that barricade.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think they look good. I mean, they're not like realistic like next gen crazy, you know, photorealistic or whatever, but the explosions look super nice and shit.
Couldn't do that at my last job.
Oh, this on the computer would definitely run easily, really good.
Over here.
No doubt about it.
Glad you could join us. Let's move. We gotta keep the Nawali hold up until Charlie team arrives. Newbie, once we hit the saloon,
I just feel like they made the motion kind of stiff.
But I can. Yes, ma'am.
What up, Jacob?
Saloon's right around this bend. Get ready and remember the plan.
Where my guy moves,
All right,
I don't
team.
know. Kind of
Let's
weird.
take it. Cover!
Like I feel like the shooting controls are kind of all over.
Newbie, I told you to flank left.
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
Like every time I move away from shooting a guy, I feel like I'm doing it like with no precision.
We go down fighting.
Come on. It's my first
Yeah, there's no cover, bro.
day.
You could duck down a little bit, but that shit's ridiculous.
Charlie team is here. Sit back and let us wrap this up.
Nice timing, gang. Perimeter secure.
Yeah, that's probably because of my flanking.
Shit.
Now get in there and flush that son of a bitch out.
Feel like I'm like a super soldier or something. I don't know.
To be able to enjoy a quiet drink these days.
Mr. Nawali, you're coming with me.
You really think you have what it takes to bring me in?
I mean, yeah. Hey, where you fucking going? I said you're coming with me.
Perhaps I don't respect your authority.
Then respect this. You said 1 foot on those stairs. Holy shit. No, you goddamn don't. Give it up, Nawali. There's nowhere to hide. Ah! You're surrounded. Make it easy on yourself. Oh. What? I can't find him.
Never mind. Get back here and regroup. We've got the bastard bottled up with nowhere to run. We know he's in the saloon. He can't stay in there forever.
Look at this shit.
Fuck.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you around.
We need air support now. Stand down. We don't got time for hero bullshit.
Don't worry, I got this.
It feels like some Fast and Furious shit. Damn.
When? We got a problem.
Hang on. The cavalry's coming.
Oh, shit.
today. Oh, fuck!
Hold this thing still so I can kill your guy.
People really got me doing this.
Gwen, hurry! I can barely get a beat on these guys.
Oh, if only someone had told you to stand the fuck down.
Had enough?
Yeah, they're always doing wild shit in these games, you're right. It is crazy, bro.
You have more courage than brains.
You're goddamn right I do.
You're too predictable.
Wow, they really made the player the guy you use was a freaking bozo.
You tried. I'll give you that.
Get your hands in the air.
I caught him.
Oh no. First mission. I'll get in the little Scully. Cause this game is all about the Saints Row, the purple. Oh, why are these dudes really got underwear? I'm gonna give my guy some boots. I'll get him the Converse.
We do big things here. Hope you're ready.
All right.
Well, you didn't die. All in all, not a bad start. Jesus Christ!
You're not gonna last.
Your pep dogs need some work.
This is for you. Performance bonus.
Is this a joke? You ribbing the rookie?
What were you expecting?
There's supposed to be a bonus based on exceptional performance.
That's right. And if you had performed exceptionally, you would have seen a bonus.
Oh, come on. Can you really look me in the eyes and say I didn't do well?
I can look you in the eyes and say you didn't do what you were told.
I saw a better way and I took it.
And if you were in charge, it would have been an inspired decision, but you're not.
Saw a better way and it took
It's
it.
a warning. Fall in line or find a new job.
First mission complete. Unlock style app. Customize your look anytime, anywhere on the phone. Damn. This looks nice when you're out in the open. Should look really nice.
Fall in line.
How funny. The shooting and everything feels super like arcadey and
Balls.
like kind of stiff or whatever. And they got the driving feeling a little more realistic than the other games.
Cow balls and pizzle stick between them.
Like the driving actually feels like the car weighs a little bit. The other games, they used to feel like they didn't weigh shit.
Big, giant, sweaty horse balls. Big, giant, sweaty, dangling horse testes just
Fair enough.
swinging in the goddamn breeze, knocking back and forth like a pair of motherfucking clappers in a giant horse flesh crotch bell.
Feel like this shit weighs a ton.
All in line. Nuts.
Driving to the city right now.
You have 3 new messages.
Hey, it's Kev. I'm baking up a slamming congratulatory brunch for when you get home to celebrate your first day on the job. It's gonna be dope. Oh, and it's official. I'm gonna be spinning at that Idols party I told you about, so hope you can come. TTYL.
This town looks almost like freaking post-apocalyptic though. This shit looks terrible.
So excited about your new gig.
Full of factories and shit.
I heard back from the museum. They went with someone else for the junior art curator job.
They should have kept the city, bro.
Looks like I'm still stuck with Los Panteros.
I like the city shit feel better.
Had a good day at least. See you soon.
Hey, it's Eli. Congrats on your first day as part of the workforce. Speaking of which, when you asked to borrow my copy of Be Your Own Boss, I assumed it was because you wanted to read it, not to level out the coffee table. So let's talk about that when you get back. Can't wait to hear about all the HR forms I'm sure you had to sign.
Gotta go to the crib.
Oh, everything Everything smells amazing, Kev.
You know what would make it smell even better?
Hey man, if you want a $300 waffle maker, you can buy with the exposure the idols pay you in. Don't expect us to chip in.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune?
I'm into showering. Are you gonna help me get the waffle maker or not?
As an investor, I don't like wasting money.
You're wearing a fucking bow tie.
Yeah, it is cheesy chains. It really is. It has over-the-top action.
Good for 10?
Who helped you move your forged paintings last month?
Fine, 15.
What sort of waffle maker can I get for 35 bucks?
Presumably one that makes fucking waffles.
Hey, the wage slave is back.
How was your first day? Were the other mercenaries nice to you?
You know, as far as hired killers go, I'd give him a 7.
You look like you could use a mimosa.
Thanks, Eli.
Seriously, how's the job?
It's the murder business. The fundamentals don't change, just the uniform.
I can tell you love it.
Okay. I don't have to love it. I have to pay my student loans.
I'm in.
So I'm guessing that means the pay's good.
It's supposed to be. Got stiffed on my bonus today.
Dude, what the fuck?
I played a little fast and loose on the job, and, well, my CO wasn't a fan.
You gotta be kidding me.
Swear to God, this lady walked right off the set of an 80s action movie. I was half expecting her to call me Rook and threaten to take my badge.
Are we gonna make rent?
We'll make rent. We just gotta be a little more creative.
Last time we got creative, I got stabbed 3 times.
Hey, it would have been 4 times if Nina and I hadn't shown up.
It would have been 0 times if you were on time.
This is true. Look, this is really not a big deal. We just knock off a payday loan place. No one gives a shit if people rob those bastards.
You have a job now. You could actually just take the loan.
Eli, I don't do business with morally bankrupt companies.
You worked for Marshall.
Brunch is a time for friends and mimosas, not debates on morality.
All right, all right.
Man, this is really fucking good, Kev.
Thanks. I was worried I added too much pepper.
No, seriously, this is perfect. The only way this could be better is if you put on a fucking shirt.
Dinner and a show, baby.
Oh, please.
Byron, I haven't got to the city yet. You've been watching me play, man.
Okay, brunch is done, dishes are clean. Let's go rob a payday loan place.
And you know how we should celebrate afterwards.
Carry.
What I say? All right, save. All right. We are done for now, man. Let me close the app. How much time did I play? Is your WWE 2K22 still broken, bro? Mine is can't do anything right at Superstars. Nah, mine never got broken. What happened to yours? Played it almost an hour. I'll stream it again. Damn, Jay already played it for 4 hours and 55 minutes. Jay, my boyfriend Comcast. And then I have, and I have someone else on my shit that has almost 12 hours on it already. The game just came out. Yeah, had to have 11 hours and 48 minutes. That's crazy. That means Jay just got off of that shit too right now. Let me see. Look at Trout on Twitch. That dude don't even hit me up. What a sellout. Let me see. Where's Jay at? Yeah, he got off 2 hours ago. How funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of that gameplay there at the end. We had a nice little podcast sesh today. Got back into the wrestling groove. A lot went on today. And we'll see what happens for the rest of the week. I know that the CM Punk John Moxley match is going to be pretty exciting. That's on Wednesday. We'll talk about that as well. I'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'll see y'all real soon either way. But Johnny Gargano is back. And Triple H has been on a roll. What up, Straight Edge? You fell asleep? When will the AEW video game be released? What date? There's no date for it yet, but I'm sure it'll be before the year's over, I'm assuming. You wish? Wow, why? What do you mean you wish, fool? Take off the intro thing here. And Finn Balor has a new theme. Yeah, I saw the Finn Balor theme. That was pretty cool. I dig it. Let's see if it's permanent, because they've been changing a lot of themes lately. All right, guys. I'm not prolonging this exit any longer. See y'all tomorrow or the day after or whenever. I'll see y'all then. Peace.